and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. It is frickin' freezing outside. Golly, I'm so happy to be indoors doing today's program after a tremendous show on Monday. A ton of news came out of that show. A very fun one, highlighted by our in-studio guest, Matt Cardona, who gifted me this. I was dreaming about it. I was telling my family about it. This toy right here, Dusty Rhodes, American. Anyway, you can watch that interview. It was a great one up on the YouTube channel right now. Also had the breaking news of Ding Dong, Bellator being dead. And in fact, just a few minutes ago, Don Davis, the founder of PFL, confirming on his social media that in fact Bellator is dead and it's all merging into one, which is essentially what we all wanted, right? We all wanted this when they purchased the company, acquired the company, and there it is, all fighters now integrated under the PFL umbrella. It's one brand now, and it makes a hell of a lot more sense. Still a lot of questions to be answered, and we'll talk about that today, tomorrow, on the nose, I'm sure. By the way, speaking of tomorrow's program, I don't usually talk about tomorrow's lineup before today's lineup, but on tomorrow's show, we will be joined by Holly Holm. Why do I bring up the preacher's daughter? Well, because on my way home from yesterday's show, got the word that Holly Holm has parted ways with the UFC. 2 fights left on her deal. Her team, Lenny Fresquez, longtime agent, representative, asked the UFC for their release so that she can go out and explore other opportunities, back end of her career, final chapter of her career, the UFC with 2 fights left, kind enough to oblige, and now she is officially a free agent. There's no exclusive negotiation period. There's none of that. She's a free agent. She can sign with someone today. And so we'll talk to Holly Holm about this decision, about the final chapter of her career, the opportunities out there. We'll talk to her about this tomorrow, and I think there's a lot, and dare I say, a lot more interesting ones in the world of boxing as opposed to the world of MMA. There's a Katie Taylor fight out there that's been talked about for over a decade. There's an Amanda Serrano fight out there. On my Instagram, when I posted the news, Michaela Mayer, who of course fights for Top Rank, was on there saying, pick me. And so those are 3 pretty big names in the world of women's boxing, and really women's boxing, which she is a pioneer of, has come a long way since she was last fighting in the square circle. And so I would love to see her end this Hall of Fame career in boxing. Let's see. We'll talk to her about that tomorrow. Now, let's go to today. Great lineup. Once again, it's an eclectic mix of guests, and I can't wait to get into it. It really does represent what we're all about here at Uncrowned. And of course, we have the massive Forest Liverpool rematch at 3, which we'll be keeping an eye on. We play 2 on Tuesdays, 5 o'clock, myself and Ariel Helwani over on the DAZN Boxing channel. We shall be talking all things sweet science, and golly, the level of drama and storylines right now in the world of boxing is just out of control. So a lot to get into there. This program, though, back into the show, Mackenzie Dern will join us coming off that big win in her rematch against Amanda Ribas this past Saturday. One of our favorites, a delight to speak to. As always, she'll join us at 2:45. I can't wait to talk to O'Shea Jackson Jr. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is the son of Ice Cube. He's in the new movie Den of Thieves 2, #1 in America, the box office this past weekend. He's a great actor. He's a very talented young man. He's also a gigantic pro wrestling fan. He will join us at 2 o'clock to talk all things pro wrestling, combat, and the new movie. At 1:30, we're going to be joined by John Wood, one of the best head coaches in MMA, the head man over at Syndicate MMA, and now the head coach of one Merab Dawalishvili. Of course, Merab fighting in the co-main event on Saturday at UFC 311. Like I have said, the upcoming stretch that we're on in the world of combat, whether it's MMA, boxing, or pro wrestling, is unbelievable. Starting with this weekend to the following weekend to February 1st. February 1st is a fantastic weekend in the world of combat sports. You have the Israel Adesanya fight in Saudi Arabia against Nasruddin Imavov. You have the Royal Rumble on Saturday night, and you also have the biggest boxing, in my opinion, the biggest boxing fight of the calendar year so far to kick things off in what should be a gigantic year in the world of boxing. It goes down on February 1st. So to me, this is the biggest of the calendar year so far. February 1st, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It's an amazing fight that has had a lot of drama and a lot of fireworks attached to it. David Morrell versus David Benavidez. In case you missed it, they did a green screen shoot face-off just when this fight, was officially announced. There they are. And this is like, this is for promotion. This is for promotion. And they were jawing back and forth, back and forth. It was great. Then we get to the first media day ahead of the first press conference, not that long ago. And this happens. Here they are meeting in the middle of the ring. Benavidez, Morrell, two of the very best in the sport. Interim WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez. You see his belt, and you see David Morrell throwing his WBA light heavyweight title. No love lost between these two. They're kind enough to join us right now at the exact same time. We're also being joined by David Morrell's translator, interpreter, the great Martin, who's joining us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Hi, man.
You're both named David, so I'm gonna try to go by your last name when I address you, so that you don't speak over each other. And so I will start with you, David Benavidez. David, you have been around fighting as a pro for a lot longer than David Morrell. Just a little over 10 fights for him at this point, 11-0. Were you surprised when he ultimately agreed to this fight and that his team wanted this fight, given the gap in experience between the two of you?
No, I wasn't surprised because this is a fight that they had been calling for the past 2 years, and I think this is a perfect time to make this fight happen. And now that I get him in the ring, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. It's like you said, there's no love lost, and this time is coming down. There's 3 weeks left to this fight, and now I'm gonna get your ass in that ring. Nobody's gonna be able to save you.
I can't wait, and I have to give you a lot of respect, David Morrell, because you and I think a lot of the Cuban fighters, Andy Cruz does the same. You guys are taking fights at an early stage in your career that maybe historically some of the other fighters aren't taking. They're waiting to the 20th pro fight, 25th pro fight. Like I said, you're relatively new, and here you are as a champion taking on, in a lot of people's eyes, the baddest man in the weight class. Why did you want this fight against David Benavidez?
Bueno, Ariel dice que te respeta mucho, ya que a diferencia de otros que esperan hasta su vigésimo quinta pelea para tener un desafío de esta magnitud, vos lo estás tomando ahora relativamente temprano contra los que muchos consideran el cuco de la división. ¿Cómo te sentís al respecto? ¿Qué opinás de aquellos que dicen que quizás esto es demasiado temprano?
I'm feeling ready. I respect him back. Him and the team know, but I respect Benavidez, like he's a great fighter. But I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling ready for this fight, for this moment. I think so is my time. I'm going to the to my fight like really focused for this moment. For him too. I'm feeling great. I think so. I'm ready. I think so. Ready. Yeah. I'm feeling. I look ready.
Okay, so David Benavidez, Morrell says that he respects you. Do you believe him? Do you think that he actually respects you?
To be honest with you, I don't really care if he respects me or not. He's been saying a lot that I'm nothing, that I'm RoboCop, that I don't have style, I'm this. But all of that is out the window now. We put tremendous work in for this training camp. We've been working for like about 4 months, and now all the talking is done. It's time to get in the ring February 1st.
That initial, after like the promo shoot face-off, this is for Benavidez as well, that initial face-off that you guys had in the middle of the ring at the media day, it got very heated. What did he say to you for it to pop off?
He said he was going to knock me out, stuff like that. But it's just tensions. Both of us are heated. Both of us don't like each other. He doesn't like me. I don't like him. And it was just the wrong thing that he said to me, and what happened.
For David Morrell, why do you not like him? He says he doesn't like you, you don't like him. Why do you not like David Benavidez?
First, I don't like him because Harris is her wife. So I don't like that. I'm just kidding. No, man, actually is after the California. I think so. Everything for him. I think him is personal. I mean, um, is for somebody people talking bullshit and social media and like I don't respect Benavidez senior and him too. Yeah, I don't say nothing. You know what I mean? In California, I say I say him. Hey, the long time. I think so. It's 3 years, 2 years ago. Uh, um, is in Twitter is talking, it's talking shit. I say, hey man, it's not me, He has say, no, I don't care. You respect my family. I'm kicking you out. I'm very fresh. He say, okay, bro, you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to me. I mean, I don't care. You want to war. Like I'm ready. I don't scare you. I don't scare anybody. So I mean, por el tiempo que pude, yo traté de decirle lo que sucedió. Si ellos no quieren aceptarlo o no quisieron verlo, pues bueno, estamos ready. Si quieren guerra, es guerra. ¿Entiendes? Miedo no hay. 100%.
I've tried to let David Benavidez know what's up for a long, long time. If they don't want to understand it, then that's on them. And if they want war, then war is what they're going to get.
Anyways, right now it's too late, Right now it's too late. Let's go to the fight. I see Freddy Fresh. I mean, right now, I don't care. I don't care if I like whatever think him and the team him. I don't care. Right now is let's do it.
For Benavidez, your father and head trainer, Jose Benavidez Sr., has said that you are going to hurt Morrell so badly that he's going to retire. Those are strong words. Is that the mindset that you have going into this? Are you trying to make this man never fight again?
That's the mindset that we're going towards. This is a whole mindset I've been training with this whole camp. And like I said, everybody that I've been in the ring with, they all say the same thing, that I don't have defense, I don't have nothing, that I'm a RoboCop, this and that. But mark my words, all of them end up in the hospital. And that's the same thing I'm going to do to David Merab. All that stuff he was talking about me, once he gets in the ring with me, he's going to know I'm the best in the world.
Can you explain, for Benavidez again, can you explain what happened at that LA press conference? I think you were upset that he didn't want to shake your hand, but then I think you said that backstage he shook your hand. And so did you think that he was just kind of playing it up for the cameras?
Nothing.
This for Benavidez.
Oh,
sorry.
I don't know, man. Honestly, like I said, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. We're way past that, and right now we're focused on the fight. I try to go, we shook hands after the first press conference, but I don't mean shit. Right now, I don't really care about being his friend. I don't care about none of that. My job is to go in there and to beat the shit out of him, put him in the hospital, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
When you hear these words for David Morrell, you hear about putting you in the hospital, retiring you at this stage of your career. There's obviously, like I said, no love lost. There's a lot of animosity there. It's clearly very personal. What is your reaction when you hear this from David and also his father and head trainer?
¿Cuál es tu reacción cuando escuchas estas palabras de David cuando él dice te voy a retirar, te voy a poner en el hospital, que José Benavidez Sr. también dice que te van a retirar, que te van a hacer pelota? ¿Qué te genera eso cuando lo escuchas?
No, it's funny, man. So a lot of people say same. A lot of people say like it's doing me. The last guys is talking saying. I mean, after fight me. Let's go to the hospital. So, this time is same. I mean, but anyways, I respect is the opinion the Benavidez of the Benavidez team too. So, I respect this opinion. I mean, every boxer go to the fight, the winning mentality. So it's good, his opinion to him, but I mean I don't care. I'm ready. I'm feel like my best. Think so is my best time. The training camp is the long time here. I'm feel ready. I feel ready. I mean, only go to the only go to the fight. But they close the mouth. Everybody is talking. They're talking like I can do it. I can do it. The win him. I can, everything. So only go to the 31st, like they close the mouth to everybody.
Okay, so Benavidez, let me.
Hold on, before you get started. It's funny because he has so much stuff to say before the press conference, all this and that I'm a RoboCop, that he's gonna knock me out, that I don't have nothing. But now look at him, he's scared. He don't have shit to say. What's up with all that you were saying? How come you're not saying all that now? He's there, you can't even talk. He's all freaking, he's all nervous. He's all nervous.
Bro, he's just saying,
Where's all
bro,
that
you had the RoboCop, man, you had the RoboCop. You know what I mean? You had the RoboCop.
Man, this guy can't even freaking talk right now.
This is my fault. You don't have nothing, bro. This is my fault.
I'm gonna beat the shit out.
This is my fault. You don't have nothing. This is my fault. You don't have nothing, man.
I'm gonna beat the shit out. Hey, there's 3 weeks left to the fight. 3 weeks left to the fight. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing.
Bro, I don't care, man. I'm ready for fight tomorrow. I don't care.
How does it feel that
I'm ready for fight tomorrow. I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. I'm ready for fight tomorrow.
How do you feel that you're making less money than your manager?
Listen,
how does that feel?
Okay.
This is the fight you're making the most money. And you're making
3 weeks,
the less
you can do
money
a change
because all your managers are getting more money.
In 3 weeks, you can do a change nothing.
Shit out you. Watch. They're all gonna cash out. Nobody's gonna be behind you.
Bro, you don't have power, bro.
Why?
You don't have power.
Why? It's on.
You don't have power, man.
There's nothing you can do now.
You don't have power.
There's nothing you can do now.
Every
I'm gonna retire that. I'm gonna retire that.
You have nothing.
Stop saying all this shit.
That's it.
I'm gonna beat the shit out you.
This is actually
bullshit, bro. Bullshit. You know,
that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna beat the shit out you. You're never gonna come back to boxing.
You can do it, bro. You can do it.
Okay,
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. I'm teaching you the really boxing. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you, bro.
I can't wait. I want you to say that right after the fight. Right after the fight, when I got you on the fucking floor.
You can do it, man.
I want you to say what you say right now.
Bro. You know nothing. Nothing. You are so predictable. You are so simple. I mean, you are nothing, man.
Exactly,
I mean, what? What do you mean?
Good.
What do you mean?
Good. I'm glad you're saying that. After I fucking stopped you, I want you to say that too.
You can do it. You can do it, bro.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's the difference between me and everybody else.
Bro, I'm teaching
Nobody's
you.
like me.
I'm
You
teaching
never
you
been
the
with nobody
boxing.
in the
You
ring
know,
like me.
after the fight, you know, I say, hey, let's go, Mahab. I'll teach you the real boxing, man. You know what I mean?
Okay, so this for David Morrell, Benavidez just asked you a great question there that I'm interested in your response. And correct me if I'm misinterpreting this, DB. You said that Morrell's management is going to earn more money off this fight than Morrell himself, and you want to know how he's going to feel.
About that. Look, now you think.
So David, for David Morrell, what is your response to this? Is this true?
All your managers are
man, it's bullshit. You know, it's bullshit, man. Let's go to the back.
All your managers are getting more money than you.
Okay.
How does that feel? I thought the managers are with you. I thought the people were with you. How are your fucking managers making more money than you? How are they making more money than you?
Morrell, is that true?
Hey, bro, listen. Man, ham. Until then, every time is a lot of
After I knock you out, they're all going to catch out. Why?
Okay, let's get his response.
For 2 years, a lot of excuse.
You were making less money than your manager. You're making less money than your manager.
Before the Mafata, you say yes.
I thought those people cared about you.
Before the Mafata, you
cared about you. How you making
you just say yes. After the fight, you say no, bro. Why? Why?
Well, you said we're fighting right now.
You say yes.
What are you talking about? We're fighting now.
So later, you say no. Why? After you say no, sorry. Why?
We got more money for you.
Why?
We got more money.
You and you think you're scared for this fight.
More money for your manager.
You know.
We got more money for your manager.
You're scared for this fight. You and you think scared for this fight.
Okay, for Benavidez.
You think scared for this fight.
After I fight you, you can come to my camp and I'll pay you
every time, bro.
Okay, for Benavidez, let me cut through it. You've alluded to the fact that you think that he is juicing, right? You brought up issues with the drug testing. Do you think that David Morrell is using PEDs?
Not no more because we're on his ass with the Vadin testing. But look I'm not going to say nothing. Just look at the track records. I've never been accused by anybody by using steroids. He's been accused by few people using steroids. So that's all I'm going to say. What we did this camp is we make sure that no sneaky business is going on and all fighters are being tested. We're advocates for clean boxing, and there's not going to be no sneaky shit here because we make sure of it.
Okay, David Morrell, that's a big accusation. What is your response, and is that true? Have you used PEDs throughout your pro career?
Man, I'm clean. You know, I'm clean. Like, Hano can do it talking insane. I mean, I'm clean, bro. You know,
You can't even
every
say that
time.
with
I
a
mean,
straight face on.
every
You can't
time
even say that with a straight face on.
a lot of people every
You can't even
fight,
fucking
you
talk.
know, talking shit, the same hand, and not come out and the fight is talking say no, it's Davis, it's doping, it's Davis, etc. Why, bro? It's training. Has power. You know has power. Everybody fight you, and anybody say
What does
no.
sparring have to
Benavidez
do
is
with taking
steroids.
fucking
Nothing, bro. You
steroids?
know nothing,
What
bro.
does
You
sparring
know
have
what
to
I
do
mean?
with taking
So
steroids?
after the fight me, everybody say no. It's steroid. You know, because film are really power, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
because
telling
because you
before
make
the
the
fight.
fighters take
So
Vada and then you don't
that's
test
it, man.
Vada after
That's
the
it. It's
fight.
no excuse, bro. I'm
That's
clean.
why.
I'm just
That's
clear,
why they're saying that
bro.
because
Right
they have
now,
to test Vada and then you
bro,
don't test Vada after
bro,
the
six
fight. You don't
times,
test
man.
Vada during the
Six
camp
times
or the
in
fight.
3 weeks. 6 times in
Oh
3
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, because the
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
sneaky
clean.
fucks
I'm
like you.
scared, bro.
Because the
Okay,
sneaky fucks like you
and
doing shit that you're not supposed
you
to do.
you think they call it every day. You know, oh, hey, go to
That's what happens when you enroll in Vada,
the
brother.
house.
That's
Go
what
to the
happens when
Morrell
you do
house.
Vada.
It's a lot of
If
skills.
you're not happy with taking
I don't
Vada,
care.
then go
I'm
into
clean.
another fucking
I'm not scared. I don't
another
care. I'm
company to
clean.
fight.
I'm clean. I don't care. I'm clean, bro. Right now, come here. I don't care. I'm clean. I don't need
Yeah,
it.
right now you're clean.
Bro.
Right now
I'm
you're
training
clean, so
hard
we
every
make
day.
sure of that.
I don't need it. I don't need it, bro. I don't need it.
I'm
You
gonna
know what
fuck
I mean?
you up. I don't give a
You
fuck about
or
nothing
somebody
you
that you
say.
think did it,
I'm gonna
I don't care
fuck
if
you up.
fuck, bro. I'm
I'm gonna
clean.
fuck you up. I'm gonna break your fucking
Oh
mouth.
man,
I don't give a
hey,
fuck
man.
about nothing you're saying.
Bro,
We're
you
three
every
weeks
time
away
he's
from
talking
the
the
fucking
same,
fight.
bro, it's excuse.
Yeah. Same for
Yeah,
you.
you're right,
The
you're
same
right.
for you.
Benavidez, do you believe him? Do you believe him when he says he's clean right now?
I don't know, but we put everything in place to make sure that there's bad testing in this. Like I said, we're not. I'm
El
never,
tipo más loco,
my
así.
name has never been associated with steroids. I can't say the same about everybody else. But right here, we got this big fight. We're gonna make sure that there's clean boxing involved, and we got the VADA test and all that.
And could I ask you again for David Benavidez? You're very fired up. I could see it. It feels very personal. This fight feels very personal. Why does it feel so personal? Why is this so personal
Because
for you?
it has to be personal because this is the biggest fight of both of our lives. This is going to get the most out of me, and this is what people want to see. They want to see people two going at it that don't like each other. You know, and I'm not lying about anything I'm saying. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to put a beating on this guy because this is what I want to do. You know, this is my time, and this is a message for everybody, letting them know what time it is.
For you, David Morrell, is it personal for you too? Is this fight personal?
No, my hell no. You know, hands easy. So I don't need that personal. I mean, in Miami, the little bit time, you know, I'm flying this moment right now, like come back Houston, you know, my training camp, focus. I say, bro, why why you stress? I mean, Benavidez is like the simple guy, so you know what I mean. And it's not personal. I mean, my only person is inside the ring, me and him.
Hmm.
You know, like outside the ring, I don't care. I mean, you know, it's stupid. Like why I thank him, my man, for this stupid shit. You know what I mean? So it's the only I say is I mean, bro, for real, I'm killing you, man. Promise you. I mean, you every time you talking shit, you every time you say like you're the you're the monster, blah blah blah. And you know, you say no, but David Morrell, you are blah blah blah. Okay, you know, you're talking whatever you do. I mean, first, bro, kicking you ass. Promise you.
Benavidez,
Hey, he's not taking it personal, but he threw his belt at me.
that was quite the
Shit
scene.
makes no sense.
How?
He's
So
not taking it
Bro,
personal.
because,
Good
man,
see. We're
I
almost there.
it,
We're
it's
almost there.
man, you right now, you know, I
We're
like
almost there. We're almost there. Watch. Just watch. Just watch.
you never right now, man.
I'm gonna watch
You
you
look
on the
never
fucking
right
floor
now.
laid out. I'm gonna watch
You
you
look
on the
never
floor
right
laid
now,
out. That's
bro.
what I'm gonna watch.
You look never
I'm gonna
right
put my
now.
hand like
You
this
look
when
never.
you're laying on the fucking floor.
I don't care, man. I don't care. Man, you look nervous right now.
I
Oh,
can't.
you
This is
look
why for
fucking nervous. You
nervous.
can't even
This is
talk.
why for
You don't even
nervous.
talk. You don't even fucking
This is
talk.
why for nervous, bro.
You have to put your fucking sweater on with your hoodie on. You can't even fucking talk.
Nigga, bro, the old school, baby,
Listen,
old school, huh? Old
Benavidez,
school, baby.
3 weeks away.
now this guy is dancing. Now this guy is
Ay,
dancing.
man,
He
ay,
did
dale.
something.
Amor y paz.
For David Benavidez, 3 weeks away, and we'll let you guys go in a minute. How do you envision the fight? How do you think it actually plays out on February 1st?
You know what, bro? I've envisioned this a lot. I'm going in there. I'm gonna do my job, and this fight is not making it to distance. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna hurt David Morrell as much as possible. I'm gonna hurt him as more than anybody's ever heard him and more than anybody will heard him. You know, he's always going to remember this fight, and he's never going to forget David Benavidez after this fight.
Winner of this fight gets the winner of Better Be a Bivol? Is that what you're thinking, David? Benavidez?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not thinking about nothing else. I'm thinking David Morrell February 1st, and that's the only thing that's in my head right now.
For David Morrell, you envision the fight, you think about the fight. How do you see it playing out on February 1st?
Cuando ves a la pelea, ¿cómo te la imaginas en tu cabeza? ¿Cómo termina?
Ooh, beautiful, man. Yeah, it's that's really this is, you know, the really great fight. I mean, you know, it's the after the everything, the me and him, the personal whatever, is, you know, Benavidez is a great fighter, and I know he's the strong guy, so it's the really well inside the ring. I mean, is the first, I think so, the first guy, little bit percent down is the loss. You know what I mean? For what about is the really well? Yo me veo ganando 100% esa pelea. Por la vía que sea, de knockout, por punto, por donde sea, me veo ganando 100% esa pelea. Creo que reúno todas las condiciones para. Sé que reúno todas las condiciones para obtener la victoria en esa pelea.
I'm 100% convinced that I'm going to win this fight. I don't care which way I win it. If I knock him out or if it's after the final bout with the judges, I know I have all the conditions and the skill needed to come out on top on February 1st.
Love it. Can't wait. Benavidez, final message for your opponent, who you'll be seeing soon in Vegas. Anything you want to say to him, this opportunity that you're both on together?
Oh, yeah, everything is done. All the talking is done. I'll see you soon. And I know you see me in your nightmares, pussy. So I'll see you soon.
Morrell, you want to say something back before you go?
Amor y paz.
Love and peace.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck to both of you. What a fight. What fighters. That is going to be incredible theater. Maybe if you were on the fence, maybe if you weren't as well versed, I hope you're locked in now. I hope you're hooked up to your Amazon Prime Video. On Amazon Prime Video, by the way, pay-per-view, February 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern, David Morrell versus David Benavidez, 29-0 Benavidez versus 11-0 David Morrell. Mexico versus Cuba. Benavidez, by the way, 24 knockouts, so 24 of his 29. Morrell, 9 knockouts, 9 of 11. Both fighting at 175 for those titles that I mentioned earlier. The interim WBC light heavyweight title, that's Benavidez's, and the WBA light heavyweight title, that's David Morrell's. 6'2", Benavidez versus 6'1". Morrell with the longer reach, 78.5 inches versus 74.5 inches. Orthodox Benavidez versus Southpaw Morrell. And Benavidez, despite the fact that he has 18 or so more wins on his pro record, just 2 years older than his counterpart. Again, it goes down on February 1st, and what a weekend that is for combat sports. If you're a fan of all three like I am, you got Izzy versus Imavov in Saudi Arabia during the day. You've got the Royal Rumble in Indy in the evening on Peacock and on Prime Video beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Premier Boxing Champions pay-per-view. 5 in the West. Live from T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Tickets still available, by the way, on Access. That's AXS.com. Love it. I can also let you know if you enjoyed that, and I love the face-to-faces. I can also let you know that on tomorrow's program, we're going to be joined by Arnold Barbosa and Jack Catterall. They'll be fighting on February 15th back in England, in Manchester. And so we'll be joined by the two of them. We are open to all promotions. PBC, Matchroom, Boxer, Golden Boy, Queensberry, Top Rank. I'm telling you right now, I'm speaking right now to the MMA fans and the wrestling fans. I love all forms of combat sports, and I love the fact that now the shackles are off, I could talk about them all and cover them equally. The amount of A, incredible fights being made in boxing right now, B, drama, C, business-type storylines is through the roof. It has never been, at least in my lifetime as an adult, I'll say, as an adult. So since I've been really like following this stuff, it has never been more fun to be A, in my opinion, a fan of boxing, but B, covering it. Now I don't cover, the beat like Keith Idec does so very well, but between everything going on in Saudi and everything going on with Matchroom, Queensberry, Boxer, Golden Boy, Top Rank, PBC, the MVP stuff, the Misfits stuff, and on it goes. DAZN, is ESPN going to stay in the business when their deal is up in August? TNT Sports in the UK now soon to be no longer in the business. Amazon, are they in? Are they out? Netflix, are they in? Are they out? There's just so much. I mean, the last just 3 days alone have produced a plethora of nuggets. So hope you enjoyed that as much as we did tomorrow. Catterall Barbosa, and later today at 5 o'clock with noted Liverpool fan Ariel Helwani. We'll talk about all this and more. I look forward to it. All right, let's turn our attention to UFC 311. It goes down this Saturday at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. Of course, main event, Arman Tsarukyan trying to become the lightweight champion. Very first time in his career in a rematch against Islam Makhachev. What a fight that is, and what a fight the co-main event is. It's one Merab, the pride of Georgia, defending his bantamweight title for the first time against Umar Nurmagomedov. You'll recall a few weeks back we had Merab on after the presser, very fired up. Hopefully he's mellowed out a little bit. It's a big week, and as of right now, and we hope it remains, the fight is going down on Saturday at the brand new Intuit Dome in Inglewood, which of course hosted the first WWE on Netflix event last Monday, not this past Monday, not yesterday, but last Monday. Anyway, the head coach for one Merab Dvalishvili heading into this fight, and the head man over at Syndicate MMA, he's been killing it for a long time. This chat, long overdue, is the one and only John Wood. He's kind enough to join us right now before he heads off to California. Hello, John. How are you? Thanks for doing this.
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, man.
You've been on before, but more in a cameo role. And so it's great to have you on to talk business as you guys head into this massive weekend. Could I ask off the bat, I'm assuming, because I was talking to Danny Rubenstein, who obviously you know very well, noted manager to the Stars. You are off to California. Is everything still in place? Is it still, as long as as recently as what you've heard, still happening this weekend in Inglewood?
Yeah, all signs are pointing that it's still happening in LA, and it doesn't look like anything's going to change. I believe they probably would have already, changed it up had they were going to, do that. And I think that, I think it's happening in LA.
Okay, that is great news. I keep getting people texting me like, "Is it happening? Should I change my flight?" This and that. I don't know. Ask Hunter Campbell or Dana White. Who am I? But that is great news.
No, it's going on there. I don't think, unless the fires really shift inwards, which it doesn't look like they're going to. It's going down in LA.
Could I ask maybe a crazy question, putting you on the spot with this, but just from like a health standpoint, you go for runs outside, you guys are outside, like your guy's about to fight in a 25-minute, expected battle against a really tough competitor. Do you have concerns from a health standpoint?
Not really. I don't think, we're not going to be obviously going for any runs outside at this point in time now. We'll keep everything indoors. The work is done. So I don't believe that there's going to be anything, other than just concern for the people and the families and the people that lost their homes and all that craziness going on out there. It's kind of an interesting time to be having a fight, and so, but health concerns and with the fighters and the air quality, we're going to obviously have to keep it indoors. I can't imagine it's going to be very great out there during these times, but I think everything's going to be just fine as far as that goes.
Okay. When we had Merab on, I like Merab a lot, and I tried to kind of shoot straight with him, and I told him that I was a little bit concerned with where he was at mentally going into this fight. Now, this was coming off the press conference because he seemed so emotional in that press conference. He was very fired up, and I know he's an emotional guy, and he gets into it with fans and all that stuff, and that's part of the reason why so many people love him. But because it has felt so personal, where he feels like he shouldn't be fighting Umar and maybe the promotion is against him and all this stuff. I was worried that he would be fighting too emotionally. Like here, this is him behind, the stage getting into it with Umar and the team. And then we know everything that went on at the press conference. And even on that Saturday night, when Aljo was fighting, he's getting into it. Where could he, what could you tell us about where he's at right now? And did you have those same concerns in early December when all this was unfolding?
He's in a great place right now. All cylinders are firing the way they need to be firing, and this is just part of the process. Merab is, like you just stated, is an emotional guy. This isn't anything new. This isn't anything different than any other camp. It's one of those things that this is. He wears his heart on his sleeve. This is one of those things that there's always a little something, going on with whoever he's fighting. And this one, it might be a little more personal, a little more this, a little more that. But as far as where he's at mentally, he's 100% locked in. The one thing with him being emotional, I don't mind it because he knows how to point those emotions in the right direction. You've never seen him go out there and mentally flop in a fight because he was emotional. He's had this, it was the same thing with O'Malley. There was a little bit with Cejudo. There was the same thing with Jan. The guy knows how to deal with his emotions. He knows when it comes fight night, he's locked in there. He's got a job to do, and he points those emotions in the right direction. And, I think there's a little more coverage of this due to the fact that, the title's on the line, due to the fact that you got Umar's last name involved and that camp. And there's things, things that play into all that make it a little more hectic and more emotional. But this is standard, man. There's nothing different. You're not going to see him go out there and fight stupid because he wants to hurt Umar any more, any less. It's all, he's locked in, man. Like I said, when he's locked in, this has been a good one. It's a good camp. It's been a little hectic, but like I said, it's at the beginning and we're now ready to go, and I can't wait to see what he does out there.
Speaking of that last name, Aljo saying before the fight was made, the only reason why Umar's getting this is because of his last name. Merab has insinuated the same. How do you feel about the first title defense being against Umar? Do you think he has earned it?
The business is the business, and that's for the UFC to decide. Sometimes the rankings mean nothing, and I can't say, oh, this guy or that guy earned it, deserved it. I just had Khalil Roundtree fight, at number 8, fight for the title. Sometimes, pretty much Merab has beaten everybody in front of him. So, this is where the next guy lands. And obviously, Umar's name, it carries weight. That lineage is real, and that's something that they obviously, as a business standpoint, can play off of. Umar's a great fighter. He's talented. No matter what the rankings are, where it was, we were going to have this fight. Either way, this fight was going to happen someday. It was never, I always like to address the people saying that Merab's ducking somebody or afraid of anybody. And I just don't understand what insane planet you live in to think that Merab, the body of work that he's done and who he's fought, that he's afraid of anyone. It was more of, Umar wanted to fight at this time and we wanted a little time off, but that's just sometimes said how the business goes. You don't always get what you want, and there's a hard push for him. I think there's a lot of money behind, Umar being a champion, and I think the UFC knows what they're doing when it comes to business and how to, push who they want to push. But to say that he got this fight on his name alone would be stupid. He's a great fighter. He's beat, some good guys, and, he just came off a big win against Sandhagen. So I think he's the next man up. Makes sense.
He's looked phenomenal in his career, and obviously in the UFC, he's looked phenomenal as well. I understand it's all gamesmanship and it's a chess match, and you're not going to give away the game plan necessarily. But could you give us some insight into perhaps where some of his holes may lie, in your opinion?
I mean, everybody has holes in their game. Everybody has, and sometimes there's layers to that. Sometimes looking at the, with the naked eye, oh, this guy can't be beat here, can't be beat there. You have to, it is the proverbial chess match, and you have to be able to open those holes up. And sometimes it takes a little bit more digging. Umar is a very well-rounded fighter. And I'm going to try to keep this as, non-game planning political as possible. But
come on, break it open for us. No one's watching.
Yeah, no one's watching. There's definitely things that we can exploit, and there's definitely things that we will exploit. And to think that somebody, because they're undefeated or have the Nurmagomedov last name. Sorry, I butchered that the first time. Last name that they can't be beat. That's silly. So yeah, I really can't go into what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But I will tell you this: Merab is Merab, and Merab is going to continue to do what Merab does. We just might have to find some different facets and different ways of how to do those things. We obviously know that he has a great wrestling background, a great striking background. He's going to be well trained and well prepared. But when you get in there with the machine, it's a different animal. It's a different pace. It's a different everything. So we'll see how long that he can hold up with, is he going to defend some takedowns? Yeah. He might even take us down. Can he hold us down? Is he going to be able to submit us? I don't think so. How long can he keep up with Merab? And, the longer this fight goes, the deeper it goes, obviously, the better it sways to us. And, yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
Speaking of that pace, correct me if I'm wrong, Merab's doing 10-round sparring sessions, and I've heard you say that you don't think Umar will be able to keep up with that pace. Is 10 rounds normal? I know, obviously the title fights are 5 rounds. Are most guys who are fighting in 5-round main events fighting or doing 10-round sparring sessions?
No, there is absolutely nothing about a Merab Dvalishvili camp that is normal. The man does what he does, and he has a process, and that process has got him to where he's at. And I don't look to change those type of things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when we say 10 rounds, we book the guys cage rounds for the specific fight, for the specific opponent. They come in with their training partners, and they get their 5 rounds, 6 rounds. He usually does his 6 rounds in the cage, being coached and cornered for the game plan. And a lot of times, that's supposed to be it for the day. But I will get Merab out of there. And, we have the rest of the gym who doesn't have fights booked up or cage times booked, sparring. We got 30, 40 other guys on the mat over in the corner. And every single time he will go and finish another 5, 6 rounds. Like I've got him up to 12 rounds. And the crazy thing is that when you get into those high rounds, he just keeps getting better. I don't know where or how mentally, physically, where it comes from. But the dude does not get tired. He gets better as the rounds go on. And a lot of times I think he feels that even though he comes in and has phenomenal 6 rounds, he's just getting warmed up, which is insane to me. So he goes out, sneaks off in the corner and finishes. And I make sure that, I have guys watching him for this camp. Literally, I had people all eyes on him. Hey, tell me if Merab comes back. He would come back in at night after sparring and spar again and do these things. But that is just his process, and it works real well for him.
Okay, so I'm looking right now, and I know you're a Vegas guy. You're a proud Vegas guy. And by the way, apologies for another, weak Raiders season.
Weak? That's an understatement. But
okay, I thought you were gonna dispute that. Over here, we're Bills fans. If you want to jump on the bandwagon, you're more than welcome.
Never.
We accept everyone. You're a Vegas guy, and I'm looking right now, and I honestly had to ask my team if I was looking at this correctly. Merab is a plus 250 underdog. Umar's minus 310. Is that disrespectful to you guys?
Disrespectful.
This guy's won 11 in a row, and he hardly loses a round.
One way to put it, it's kind of the norm. It makes no sense to me in any way, shape, or form. But betting's a little different. You have people that are putting big amounts of money on certain people that are fans or that are this or they're that, and that sways those odds a lot. So, you get the hype train. When we came out, we were the favorite against O'Malley, and that eventually switched and flipped when that hype train came on. And obviously, a lot of people look at Umar's last name and think, oh, man, he can't be beat. He's undefeated. So, disrespectful, yeah, in a minor way, but it's something that we're kind of used to. This is something that I think Merab has been the underdog in almost all of these fights towards the end of the camp, or as the fight gets closer, those things sway. And I don't understand it. I don't get it from a standpoint of what are you looking at? What do you think that that this guy is going to do? Like, is it a close fight? Is it a good fight? Yeah, it's a great fight, but I just don't see where. And it's almost kind of, I kind of like it this way because people do not put the stock into Merab that they should be, and they keep underestimating. And, hopefully the fighters keep doing that. I don't think that that's what Umar, is looking at betting odds and saying, I'm the favorite, so I can take it easy. But people keep underestimating, and that's just a little more fuel for the fire for Merab to go out there and prove everybody wrong, which he does time and time again. And I truly believe he'll do it this time.
Your thoughts on Khabib Nurmagomedov, head coach?
Oh man, I mean, obviously a wealth of knowledge. The dude's a legend in the sport. He has such a phenomenal lineage, and it looks like he's been able to turn that into, a decent coaching career. I don't think he's really all into coaching except for, his guys. In fact, I even saw that today he stated that, after these guys are done or retired, he's out. So, I think he's more doing a service for his family and his close, teammates and friends. As I don't think he's looking to build a stable and continue on that lineage as coaching. So he's great for what he does and who he does it with, and it's pretty easy to take top level guys and continue that. It'd be interesting to see what he would do, building an actual stable of fighters, which I'm sure he could. The guy, like I said, he's a legend. So there's things where it would be, foolish to think that he couldn't, coach and be successful. But it's yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. He's very proficient, and he's got some great guys underneath him. So I think that it's it'll be a fun time coaching and cornering against him.
You've been doing this for a long time. You're one of the best in the game as well. And, back in November, I remember seeing that you were dealing with some pretty scary health issues, and you were trying to fight through them in order to stick with your guys and be able to corner everyone and be able to coach everyone in the gym at Syndicate. And so could you tell us what exactly happened here? Because I saw some stuff on social media. We're seeing a photo here. I saw your lovely wife, Joanne Wood, having to inject things into you. Here she is looking like a pro, by the way. She's looking very serious and, very proficient at whatever it is she's doing. What were you dealing with here back in November?
Yeah. So crazy enough, I'm a big proponent of stem cells, and I've gotten a lot of stem cells over the years to heal up some injuries, and it's worked phenomenal. So I was going in I had a hernia, and I was going to have a hernia surgery. And so I had we were coming off all these camps, and I had some shoulder pain injuries, and I'd had a previous, partial labral tear in my shoulder. So I thought that was acting up. So I thought, hey, you know what? While I got some downtime, I'm going to go ahead and get that fixed up, get some stem cells. I'll kill two birds with one stone. Long story short, I had a staph infection that I did not know inside my shoulder, brewing inside my shoulder, and I shot stem cells directly into that staph infection. So basically, it supercharged that. I went septic within 3 days, at 104 fever, and I was away at Fury in Texas, and then straight from there to Invicta. And, along the lines, I had gone to the urgent care and, got some antibiotics. And I was, in my mind, my doctor from home prescribing antibiotics. And so I thought I was going to turn the corner, but it was already too late, and my arm swelled up 3 times the size of it. So basically, when I got home from the Invicta trip, straight to the emergency room, they came in and said, oh, yeah, this is bad. Straight to emergency surgery. I was in there for a couple of days. They put a PICC line in my arm, so straight to my heart. So I had a PICC line for antibiotics. That's what you see JoJo shooting in there every day for 6 weeks. And my arm, about 60-70% of it, but I almost lost my arm, and I was about a day or two probably from, being much worse than that.
Wow.
So
really?
It was a crazy, crazy thing. And moral of the story, do not shoot stem cells into a staph infection.
Damn. When you shoot, the stem cells in and you have this, do you feel it instantly, or did you just have no idea?
Yeah. So the next day I woke up and I really couldn't use my arm. And I thought maybe during the injection process that I had hit a nerve or something like that. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And by the time I left for the trip, I was already, getting a fever. And then when I got, like I said, by the time I got home from the trip, my arm had probably swelled up 2 to 3 times and was just red, and I had streaks going up into my neck and into my heart. And it was crazy. But yeah, it was pretty instant. But we deal with a lot of bumps and bruises in the sport, so it's not stuff you're completely unused to feeling pain and feeling banged up, and you just kind of press through it. I can't tell you how many injuries I've had over the years, or something torn or something this, and you deal with it and you get through camps. And this one was something special. So it almost killed me. My wife wasn't too happy about
Jeez.
that, but
Yeah, I would imagine.
yeah, made it through, and it was scary because it killed all the nerves in my arms, and I couldn't lift my arm, use my arm, my shoulder. Well, even till like maybe a couple weeks ago. So it's still a slow process, but that's kind of everybody in this sport. If you're not dealing with something or you're not, in pain, you're not probably doing it the right way.
What was worse, that experience or trying square sausage?
Oh, square sausage was awesome. Like square
Oh, was
sausage,
it?
I'm a big fan of square
What is
sausage.
square sausage?
It's just sausage with some seasoning. I thought, she was messing with me, and I thought it was like going to be a haggis pie or some kind of weird thing that she's always messing with everybody here at the gym. Myself, my son, we're always eating, or some kind of funky thing or getting electrocuted, or she's jumping out behind the corners, and everybody's on high alert. So we had a can of haggis sitting
Oh,
around, and that had gone. So I was pretty sure that that's what it was, but. No, it's just sausage with some kind of seasoning that they put in it. It's amazing. I'm a huge fan of that now.
what about haggis? Have you had it?
When I went to Scotland, last time over there with her, I tried it, and I can say that I am not a fan of haggis.
Okay.
And I'm not looking to, anything. I don't want anything to do with that. Not a fan.
Yeah, it looks disgusting. And I don't
It
say
is
that.
disgusting.
Okay, I don't want to offend anyone out there, but
Oh,
it
it's
just
disgusting. I mean, the Scottish people, they can love it, but it's disgusting. Just everything in it's disgusting, and I don't know why. I don't get it, but.
okay. We'll leave it at that. Back to the fight. How do you see it playing out? Are you feeling 25 minutes? Are you feeling like what kind of a flow? What kind of a path? Obviously, you're confident in your guy. What are you feeling?
Yeah, we've been working a lot on Rob's game to start looking for finishes and control and submissions and ground and pound. This is a tough one to say we're going to go out there and submit and finish this guy. It's definitely a possibility. As a betting man, I would probably say there's a good chance these guys are going to be able to defend and deal with enough adversity that it could potentially go 5 rounds. And I do believe that the deeper it goes, obviously, with anybody, it's more Merab's fight. We've got to really look out for the first couple rounds. There's some things that we got to watch out for, but I truly believe that Merab's striking has improved greatly, even in the last since you've seen him since the title fight. It's gotten leaps and bounds better. So if we need to keep it standing, we can keep it standing. His control, his submission defense, all of those things have gotten better and are getting better at a rapid pace. So I really think that we're looking into a grinding war, but I think there's going to be some new wrinkles that Merab's going to bring out for this fight and kind of
Oh,
blow everybody's mind.
um, are we going to see perhaps more jawing between you and the other corner, like we saw at the Sphere, you and Tim Welch? Are we going to see more of this? This is part of the process.
No, I don't think so. I think those guys are very professional. I think, Khabib and Javier Mendez are very high level, guys and very respected and respectful coaches. I do not think that they need to play any of the mind games and that kind of stuff or anything that would try to, give them the advantage. I think that, we're going to have a straight up clean cornerman, situation for this one.
Is there like an unspoken rule in your opinion, like the stuff that was going on with Tim and Merab and all that? Like, do you think that is crossing the line?
Um, it's a gray area. There's nothing in the rule books. I mean, there is rules that you can't, badger and do those kind of things. But I think in my mind, it's pretty stupid. But I wouldn't do it. But I get it. If you want to take every advantage of, the old adage, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying type of thing. But I really don't, I have enough confidence in my fighter that I just need to talk to them and don't worry about, like, if you're worried about the other fighter and yelling out commands to them, to me, you might be missing the focus on your fighter. So it's not a tactic I would use. And, I don't dislike Tim or anything, for that. I just think it's dumb and it's not a smart thing to do. But hey, it worked out great for us. Probably pissed off Merab a little bit more and added a little more fuel to that fire at the moment. And we obviously saw the results with that. So it's not something I would do.
I don't have to ask your prediction for the co-main. I know where your heart lies, but I'm curious about the main, just from your great analytical mind. We saw them fight once before. Just curious, who do you favor in that one, Islam or Arman?
Man, I am a huge Arman fan. I think that guy is the most talented overall guy out there, and that's why he's getting the title shot. But it's really hard at this point to bet against Islam and the pressure that he brings, and the size alone of that man is, it's kind of, when you see him stand next to other 55ers, he's massive, and he's been through some adversity. You've seen him, get beat up a little bit and still hang in there. It's a very interesting fight, but it's kind of one of those things in my gut. I'm not betting against Islam until, somebody solves that puzzle. Can Arman do it? I believe he does have the tools, but, I would still have to say that I think Islam might come out ahead in this one and, maintain that title.
By the way, are you so popular that you keep getting phone calls in this interview? I feel like you're dodging calls left and right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You're a busy man, and I know you have to head out, and so I'll leave you with two last questions if I can. We love Khalil Roundtree around here. Fascinating guy, tremendous fighter. One of my favorite fights of the year was his fight against Alex Pereira. I know he took a lot of damage in that fight, what heart he showed as well. When do you think we'll see him back in there, and do you have any kind of preference as to who he fights when he returns?
Yeah, we're definitely talking. He's back in the gym now. He's back in training. He's healed up. So he's starting to kind of get back on the horse and get everything, going and firing in all the right directions. There has been talk. I think we have a big one coming up that the result of that fight might, play out to see who would be next. For us out of Yuri and Jamal.
Oh, I love it.
So that's been, talked about. There's some other names that have been thrown around that I think make sense. But I think that Khalil's very interested in that fight. So, that one's going to be, I think, might be a tell of who we're getting next. But we'll see. Those things change. The UFC, they've already kind of called and asked about a few names and few people, and we're just kind of on standby to hear what's next. So, he's back in the gym, he's healthy, he's getting going, and I think we're going to make another title run with it.
And what's it like with Joanne now retired? Do you want her to get back to fighting? Is she at home too much? Is she bothering you too much? What's it like?
She's not. No, she's one that she's been awesome to have around. Honestly, since she's retired, she has taken a big role in the gym, and she's running the front desk and front operations for the Jesus, sorry, for the the gym and really helping out here. So we do spend a lot of time in the same areas, but she's usually up front and lets me do my job on the mats. She's been awesome. You couldn't hope for a better situation, for her and for me. Being able to come off of a stellar career like that, and then retire off a couple fight win streak, and then have an awesome job to be able to flow into, and she's killing it, man. Anything about Jo, if she's going to do it, she's going to do it at the best of her ability, and if she doesn't know how to do it, she's going to learn to do it. So she's been really great to have around here and made a huge impact already, and she juggles a lot of facets, helping, as wife and as a mom, my son, and it's been great, man. It really, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Love it. Love to hear it. And I have your wedding gloves in the studio right over there. Yeah, you see it top right next to the Kazushi Sakuraba, the great. Awesome. I mean, the greatest wedding gift that as a guest one could ever receive. Incredible stuff. I mean, those photos were unbelievable. Everything you guys did was unbelievable. So delighted for you, and most importantly, very happy to hear that you're okay, because those photos were very, very scary. Thank you for doing this on a travel day. Appreciate it. Good luck to you and the team out in LA. Good luck to everyone out there as well. And sorry for taking so long for having you officially on the program, but great to have you on, and looking forward to more as well.
Yeah, it was worth the wait, man. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on the show.
Thank you, John. All the best to you. There he is, the head man over at Syndicate MMA, and they've been on quite the run as of late. They've had a ton of great results. Davey Grant with a big win recently. Great guy, Davey Grant. Always enjoy him. Had a win in Tampa. Cody Steele winning on the Contender Series, getting a contract. He's fighting at UFC 312. Artur Minev winning at Fury FC. Obviously, the Khalil Roundtree performance. And what about the idea of Khalil fighting the winner of Yuri versus Jamal? I mean, I take him fighting the winner or the loser, to be honest, but the winner sounds juicy. I'm down with that. That would be tremendous. Now, that would probably mean, unless it's a quick finish, that would probably mean he doesn't come back until the summer, and I don't hate that as well, considering, the damage inflicted in that fight against Alex Pereira back in October. So let's see. We reported on Friday that it is going to be Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. That's the fight that should happen. And so things are moving. Things are happening at 205. Yuri versus Alex. Yuri versus Jamal. Somewhat flying under the radar, but what a freaking fight. What a fight. And something tells me by the time they get to the, press conference and all that later in the week that it won't be flying under the radar. Press conference might be nutty. Like with everything that happened at the December press conference with Umar and Merab, Islam Arman. Arman likes to, keep, like I saw him at the Clippers game yesterday. He's holding the jersey and no smile. Never a smile with Arman. He's all business.
Unless
Tremendous
he's eating
hair.
Dave's hot chicken.
Unless he's eating, what's the line at him, repping some Dave's hot chicken
Minus
gear?
1,000.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Can't
Also, everyone you just mentioned, then you throw in Jamal Hill, Yuri, Hanato Moicano, Kevin Holland.
Oh my God.
It's going to be incredible. It's
Kevin
going to be
Holland.
incredible.
Peyton Talbot. Put Peyton on the damn press conference dais. Oh my God. Yeah. An amazing cast of characters at UFC 311 this weekend. Can't wait. That's at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, up to no good, California. Now, Intuit Dome, they were very much in the news. A little over a week ago, the Raw debut on Netflix was at the Intuit Dome, and there was our guy, O'Shea Jackson Jr., ever the heel in Clippers country, rocking the blue and yellow of the Los Angeles Lakers. Very much a heel move, and it's a move that I respect tremendously because I would do the same if I was at the Garden or something like that, the TD Garden, not the actual Garden. There he is, rocking the Lakers belt, massive shit-eating grin on his face. I think the Lakers logo in that photo is over Bill Simmons' face, noted Boston Celtics fan. I've long been a fan of O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s for his work on the silver screen. Of course, we were first introduced to him, the Straight Outta Compton film, which was based on the life of his father, Ice Cube. You may have heard of him, O'Shea Jackson Sr., not just Ice Cube, of course, but the whole NWA squad, and that has turned into a tremendous acting career. His latest film, Den of Thieves 2, which features several fighters, Cyril Gane, Michael Bisping, Rico Verhoeven, to name a few, is the #1 movie in America this past weekend. Tremendous stuff. He has been kind enough to carve out some time in his busy schedule to join us. He's also a gigantic pro wrestling fan. I can't wait to talk to him. He's the host of the No Contest Wrestling podcast under the Rich Eisen podcast umbrella. There he is, O'Shea Jackson Jr. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm, as good as I can be. It's still a little crazy out here with the fires and everything, but wrestling, luckily, has taken my mind off. The Rams secured a victory as well, but I'm doing okay.
I'm very happy to hear that. And I was going to start with that. So are you safe and sound for the most part? I mean, the scenes are unfathomable and devastating. For you personally, are you okay and your family okay?
For the most part, we're still not out of the woods yet. Once the wins are really what you're watching for, and tomorrow's supposed to be a very windy day out here. It's been crazy. The place where my childhood home is was put under an evacuation warning. So it was crazy to kind of go there and pack up your old life or like your just everything that you kind of built up. The family was a little shaky, going through our old rooms and things like that. And it's a surreal feeling, and anybody who had to do that and then lost it, man, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah. Same here, and praying for everyone over there, and hopefully this ends very soon, and normal life can resume. But I know for so many, it's going to take a long time for that to happen. So sending everyone our best in Southern California, and this happens at the same time where this movie that you are so passionate about and worked so long on the sequel to a great film that became a cult classic comes out, and you have a tremendous weekend. Like I said, number one. Are you even able to enjoy any of it? This is a big deal for an actor, right? When you're on center stage, are you able to enjoy any of it?
Yeah, not really, which is weird. This is a very huge moment for me. There's no two ways about it. Besides Straight Outta Compton, Den of Thieves was the movie I was asked about most by fans in the street. Waited 6, almost 7 years to do the sequel and to get back to Donnie Wilson. We accomplished our goal, and yeah, it doesn't feel like the championship I was waiting for. And when I got the news of us being number one, I was on a plane coming back from doing press, so I was super excited. Just thanking everybody and everything, and then when I landed in LA, that reality kind of set in of like what exactly is going on. And lately I've just been retweeting anybody's kind words about the film because there's just something weird about, being like, hooray right now. It just doesn't feel like the right place. You got to read the room sometimes. So everybody who's had, kind things to say on Twitter, I've been retweeting them, because I am appreciative of anybody who is even thinking about going to go see the film. It's a blessing that we are so grateful for. A lot of us within the film have been affected by the fires as well, and I'm sure they would give the same gratitude as me.
As I mentioned, several fighters in the film: Michael Bisping, Cyril Gane, Rico Verhoeven, Vitor Belfort as well. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's the best of the bunch as far as acting is concerned?
All right, real quick. Number one, that Verhoeven, he's got to relax, bro. All right, when you're on a movie set with a bunch of fighters, all they do is like shadow kick and like shadow box all day. So like you don't want to be around one when they're bored. Because they'll just be like, "Come on, man, what's good?"
Yeah.
Like, chill. I can't let you get close. So it's real. They're just, just big warriors. Rico's so cool though. I still got to play Call of Duty with him. He's very aggressive about me playing Call of Duty with him. And Bisping is my guy. Mike is such a cool dude. He's so nice. Just a savage though. Like they're all super nice. And then you think like, yeah, they could kill somebody. When there was a funny scene in the beginning of the film where we're doing another heist, and it's like I'm gonna say probably about 11 or like 12 a.m. So it's super dark, and Michael Bisping has to drive with a helmet on, and I was unaware that he doesn't necessarily have both eyes. So I was like, they're making Michael Bisping drive with a tinted helmet on at night with one eye. This seems like it should go well. But he's super cool. Love that guy, man.
Love it. And our boys in the back, they love number one. They haven't had a chance to see the sequel just yet, but they are very excited about it. So they were super stoked that you were going to be on. I was stoked because you're a tremendous wrestling heel, even though you're not in the business. I enjoy your Twitter feed very, very much. And I need to get into it. Okay, so like when you rile up especially the AEW fans. I'm not quite sure who they hate more, me or you. They despise me. They think I'm out to get them.
Yeah.
And I always come out with like peace and love, peace and love. I'm not looking for trouble. In fact, I'm the guy when it comes to fighting. Like I want other organizations. I want competition. You lean all the way in. I don't know if you like just enjoy winding them up or something about them in particular. What is the state of your relationship right now with the AEW fans?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them that I'm like really cool with. One dude who was just my Twitter nemesis, Air Gold. I was like, dude, I can't believe me and him are cool now.
Wow!
Shout out to Air, my man Wrestle Mark. Yeah, it's weird because in the beginning, I was all for the BS. I was all for the smoke because it was like, it's fine to like an alternative. That's cool. Like it should be more opportunities for people to be on like a major show besides, one avenue. I'm all for that. And it makes WWE have to step up, which as a fan means they're going to just spoil me. So like, how can you be all the way mad? But then when you start dissing, like, going after what we all know we all watch together. Like we all watch that together. You could not like the direction something's going, but don't act like I'm just ridiculous because I still watch WWE. That's like you're wilding, bro. They're number one for a reason. And so I was with the tribalism heavy in the beginning. And then MJF, he had a good point in an interview where I was just like, you know what? He's right. Let me look at both sides of this thing. But then when I tried to give a little input, and all I asked was for video packages. All I asked for was like, if you're bringing in somebody from another promotion that's taking away TV time for the people you're supposed to be growing on American television, can you give me a video package to tell me why this dude is cool? Like, show me what I've been missing. And I got a bunch of Google it and look it up. And I'm not watching TV for homework, dog. Like it should be a much more welcoming environment. And I never meant ill will by that. I never meant ill will. And the response I got, it's just hard for me to just be like, to just take that, So I still take my little jabs here and there. But I'm all for people getting opportunities. I got some people I'm really cool with over there, and I want to see them succeed. But as far as the faceless account fans, I will be there to give you all problems. Every single one, man. Because you're not even real. You're just causing the chaos, and I'm here for it.
How do you feel about the state of AEW right now?
I feel that there's been a couple of things that I wish would have hit better. They gotta stop making Jon Moxley and his crew run away from everybody. We have to stop that. They are supposed to be the evil empire, and I feel like there's too many clips of them running away. Like it's not given what it needs as the evil crew that everybody's supposed to be scared of. It's just some things story-wise that haven't hit hard enough. And I'm not gonna say it's a simple fix because I'm sure there's a whole bunch of things that go into it that I know nothing about. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the guy with the answers. I'm just speaking as a fan of what I see. I actually like the direction they're going with Ricochet, him being this psychopath. That's pretty cool. But most people that like find that spot, like Tony Storm and everything that she did when she found that character, she really took off. I'm excited to see what he does. I always love what Swerve does over there. I've just been going to Netflix a lot,
I love it. I love it. Everyone was like dissecting the first episode of Raw on Netflix, and then the second one's like, I felt like, okay, now this is this is more of a normal, like this is it. Now we're into it. Like that felt like a PLE. This is just a good episode of Raw on any platform. Did you enjoy 1 versus 2, 2 versus 1? How did you feel about yesterday's second offering?
Yeah, it did feel like the first one was more of a PLE. It was the premiere episode. You know, I knew being in Los Angeles, that's where they premiered SmackDown when they went to Fox, you know, when they had the blue carpet outside at Staples and things like that. So, you know, they're going to go hard. You know, they're going to go big. And that's what you love about the showmanship of the WWE is that they'll put on a show for you. It was a special moment for me because, you know, I've been going to WWE live events for really my whole life, but consistently over the past 7 years. And just there as a fan, never once asked for my name at the bottom or anything like that. I'm just there to enjoy the show. I'm behind the commentary table, so I'm going to be on camera, but it's not a spot for me. But to be a kid watching the WWE as long as I have, to get my name at the bottom was like, it was a cool moment for me, man. It means something to me. And my city popped for me. And then I got to diss the Clippers too, and maybe booed Hulk Hogan. But it was a great night for wrestling, dude. It was a great night. And I think I'm going to go number 1, because I'm a Roman Reigns guy. And, you know, to see Roman get it done, to become our tribal chief, that was cool. I was really surprised that it really felt that all the baby faces won. I've never seen that before. So, it was definitely cool. I got to go number 1 just because it was in LA. Very happy to see Penta in the WWE. I expect big things for him. I already bought a mask that I hopefully will get signed one day. Because WWE shop, they don't care, man. Get that merch out there, baby. I feel you.
I love that, and I loved his match, his entrance, and his promo after. I actually really love what they did doing the promo in the ring afterwards. It felt like a big UFC or boxing event where you get the big win and then you speak to the crowd. They're putting a lot of those little like real combat sports element into the product now, which I like very much. I love your passion for it, and I share it as well. I'm wondering, have you ever considered working in wrestling? We know about Freddie Prinze, who's on the creative team. You have the pod now with TJ under, the Rich Eisen umbrella, but actually like working as a producer, a creative team member, anything like that. Have you ever explored this?
I feel like everybody as wrestling fans, we all fantasy book. But I went to USC for screenwriting. Is something that I'm very passionate about. I'm constantly coming up with stories in my mind as far as for film, television. It would definitely not be out of my wheelhouse. Even in any type of capacity with something that you've watched as a child, it's just a childhood dream. So if they need me for anything, all they got to do is give me a ring. They've always treated me so well, taking care of me, looked out for me. And I appreciate that, because the thing about a company that big, they don't have to give a damn about you, So I very appreciative of everyone over at WWE. If they want to work, let's work.
Oh, wow. I feel like this is the seed right here. I mean, you got the guy, right? Brad Slater's your guy. Brad Slater, The Rock, Ronda Rousey.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, they're all great, but they're in, TKO, Endeavor. Like I feel like you're a phone call away. I feel like if you want this to happen, you could literally be on the team by tonight.
Yo, chill, bro.
I'm telling you. I feel like they would roll out the black carpet, the red carpet, the blue carpet, all the carpets for you.
Dude, it would be a dream come true. It's one of those things that I've been able to be in. I'm forever in the lore of Godzilla. I'm forever in the lore of Star Wars. It would just be another childhood dream I didn't know that I could accomplish if I was in the lore, any capacity with the WWE.
What about on camera? Like as a heel manager, old school, like Bobby Heenan, Mouth of the South.
Hold on, because I got 2 movies that I'm training for, Ariel, when I get my R&B body, bro, do not question that, because when I'm over there, I get the itch. So yeah, I'll do, bro, anything they trying to do. Just, I'm a phone call away.
I'm showering you with a lot of praise and love, but I do have a bone to pick with you, I have to say, because I'm a lifelong, like, the first athlete celebrity that I ever truly fell in love with, was Bret the Hitman Hart. That's my guy. I've got his toy right over here to my right. I adore the man. I'll do anything for the man. There it is. When I used to go to the doctors, as a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I was terrified of needles, my mom would tell me to close my eyes and think of something that made me happy, and I would think of Bret Hart winning the WWF title. That's how much I adored him. And then I adored this man. And then I see, and I like you a lot too, from afar. I mean, we've talked once before in the past, but then I see this tweet from back in the day, and I'm from Canada. I am very proud to be Canadian.
Here we go.
I see this tweet. I got a problem with this tweet, my man. I got because we were dissecting it before. WWE on Fox, mate, rest in peace, tweeted this in April of 2024. Explain Drake versus Kendrick in WWE terms, and you tweeted Hogan versus Hitman, and I'm assuming that you're saying that Hogan is Drake? Is that what you're saying? Because I have 2 problems with that. I have a problem with the Drake, and I have a problem with the Hitman. Is Hitman Kendrick? I can't accept that. I can't accept the Canadian guy being on the side of the anti-Canadian guy, if you know what I'm saying. So please explain.
Listen, I didn't even think in those terms when I typed it. It was strictly because, like, you got this big mega star that sells all the toys and all the hoopla, most marketable person of that time, has this, that, and the third. But if you know what you're talking about, that's a bad man in that black and pink, bro. That's a bad dude. I don't know. That dude is you gotta watch him. He's a hitman. So it's it's just, it's nothing wrong with the comparison. I think I did a good job.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, if I'm being honest. My hot take, by the way, is and tell me if you think I'm crazy, if that beef doesn't happen, Kendrick's not playing at the Super Bowl this year. He should be thanking Drake. He should be thanking Drake for the opportunity.
I'm not here.
He has no business.
I am not here for this Canadian propaganda.
He has no business at the Super Bowl.
God, listen, he's a bad dude, bro. And it's all right. I'm one of the people that think it was a setup from the jump. Because
you think it was a work?
Like, no. I just think, like, Drake should have left it alone, because the way that I make it, this is my analogy for it. So Kendrick dropped a song and was dissing Drake and J. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you were outside of a party or whatever, some guy comes up to you and your homie and is like, you and you, I'm whooping both y'all ass, follow me. You would not follow that guy. You're going to the trunk of your car. This man has a plan against you that you are unaware of right now. Nobody calls for a 2v1 and they're not overly prepared. So you just got to leave that alone, bro. And, he'll be all right. He's Drake.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. But, like, it is what it is, man. It's all right. It is what it is.
All right. Fair enough. I'll leave it at that. Can I ask you your favorite thing in wrestling right now? What's your favorite thing right now? Favorite story, favorite guy, favorite girl? What's, like, your must-see right now, the thing you love the most?
Kofi Kingston without a mustache is – it's just – it's wild. That's a wild thing to see. I love the New Day being heel, because a valid point was brought up to me from a very reliable source. But even when they were good guys, the New Day were just bullies. So, like, for them to be able to just, like, really lean into it is great. Obviously, everybody knows I'm friends with my man Phil, CM Punk. He's doing amazing. I love to see him just working with such a smile. Also, everybody who follows me knows that I'm a Roman Reigns guy. I don't know if I want to see him versus Cody in Mania, because I really think Cody is set up to retain at least one WrestleMania, and so I don't need to see Roman lose again. Like, you know, it was already terrible, freezing to death in Philadelphia, who should never get WrestleMania ever again unless they have a roof. But it was already terrible watching him lose in the freezing cold. You know, Vegas on 420. Let's not kill my buzz, bro. So I hope they figure that out. But I think my favorite, absolute favorite thing in the WWE right now is my guy, Dominic Mysterio. The young GOAT, dude. Young GOAT. I'm always going to big up Dominic because he is another one of those inspirations that I use with somebody taking their family name to places it's never been before. Ray's never been a heel in the WWE. So for Dom to be just the absolute counter of that, he's been doing amazing. The dude's an inspiration. I've always found somebody in the WWE, especially in these times, that I can relate to as a second, third generation superstar. And that all started with The Rock, you know, going in his father's footsteps. And that's another one of the many reasons why I feel so connected to these superstars. And Dominic Mysterio, man, that's my guy. They'll never make me hate you, Dom.
I love that. That's a tremendous answer, and it's a great point. I've heard you talk about you and your brother, you know, getting into wrestling as kids and playing the video game and all that stuff. Did your dad watch it as well? Was he a fan?
Yeah, but you know, he was one of those eat your vitamins type guys, and
oh damn,
that's before. It was the time, dude. No, but yeah, he also obviously loved Junkyard Dog. He loves the Junkyard Dog. Every time we talk about wrestling, some kind of way Junkyard Dog is going to come up. But yeah, wrestling it's just one of those things especially as a little boy. You just watching people beat each other up all day. It's like the best soap opera in the world, dude. It's why I love it so much is because what I do, I get cuts, I get redos. It's not going to go in the movie until it's absolutely perfect. What they have to do, not only with the sacrifice of no off season and how tasking that can be, but they're doing Broadway with violence. Just take my money. Like, it's just so fun to watch the environment. If you've never been to a live wrestling event, the electricity that is in the air at these WWE events, if you could bottle that up, it is the best feeling in the world. And when you go home and you still got that rush, man, it's something special. So, you know, my dad had it. My older brother Daryl passed it to me. My little brother Sharif is probably the biggest John Cena fan I know.
Wow.
Like straight C Nation. Like that is his guy. And hopefully with the No Contest Wrestling podcast, if I could get John in studio and my little brother get to just chop it up with him for a little bit, I think I would be the coolest brother in the world. So this is me calling out John. My man, we got to make that happen, dude. Sharif loves you.
I think you can make that happen. My hot take with John is if he wins the Rumble, I'm going to be very disappointed. I don't think he should get that spot. I want to see that spot go to someone else who can get elevated to a main event slot. I'm not that. I don't know. I'm not that invested in this John Cena retirement tour. I'm down with a retirement match. Do I need to see a whole long year storyline of him trying to get back to the winning, column? I wasn't feeling the promo. I'm not feeling the angle right now.
Well, I mean, according to Twitter, bro, you are a hater. Yes, you are a complete. That's quite on brand. So I don't know why you're trying to run from that.
Wow.
But it's just being that, that older wrestling fan and trying to read the tea leaves.
It's okay. Shill for them right now. That's
yeah. We all think we're geniuses, dude. But when you're promoting him for Elimination Chamber, I don't think he's winning the Rumble.
Nah.
And I think it would be cool to see John Cena one last time go for a big one. And there's this this unwritten law where when you go out on your back. You go out looking up at the lights. And I think John is part of one of those that old school feel, but WrestleMania is not where he goes out. He said we got a year in WrestleMania, so that would not be the time for him to go out. So if there's an opportunity, I used to be a Cena hater. Like, oh my God, he's winning again. But when you start to realize how hard it is to do what he did for as long as he did, and just the environment that he had to be in, with everything he's done for, we all know about the Make-A-Wish record. The dude just, he's a hardworking man. And when you are such a hardworking company, man, I have no problem with the company giving you one last rub before you dip.
Did it bum you out when you walked into Intuit Dome that it's a million times cooler than the Crypto.com arena? Like, as a Lakers fan, did that make you sad?
I mean, it's a beautiful piece of garbage, Ariel. Don't get me wrong, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that, I have, I've been thrown out of worse places.
Right.
But I mean, it's a pretty girl with no sustenance to her. It's no she's not really talking about anything interesting. That she doesn't have any aspirations for marriage because getting a ring in there is got to be crazy.
Wow. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good. That was good. Have you used that before? Or did you think of that on the spot?
No, when you put me on the spot, bro, the heel comes out. Though.
Bro, that was good, man. That was good right there. That was, wow.
Yeah, man.
That was good.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no, wow. Yeah, you killed that one. Congrats to the Rams, by the way. And congrats to you on a tremendous opening. I know it comes at a very tough time in your life and everyone. And you're so proud. You're so proud to be from Southern California. I mean, I got to say, one of my producers back there before I let you go is a gigantic Yankee fan. And we were talking before, like when your dad walked out, when he, it was over. They might have just closed it up. And then they countered. There it is. They countered with Fat Joe. The Fat Joe counter was like old school, Hogan against Brooklyn Brawler. Like, that's what the matchup was. It was such a weak counter that they might as well just closed up shop. So much props to you and your family and how you rep your city and your region so very well. I love everything about it.
Thank you, man. Please don't call my dad Hulk Hogan. But when it came to just messing with you.
Yeah.
When it came to that Dodgers Yankees World Series, number one, I've always had major respect for the Yankees just because I mean, I get it. When you're a team that has won so many championships that people just hate you when you win anything, it's a weird feeling. I get it, but then I don't. Because you need those evil empire-like teams. And I've been giving Fat Joe a lot of flack lately, and it's not his fault. Like, it's not his fault.
Nah, it's his fault.
Okay.
Bro, it was bad. It was bad. And I love New York. I live in New York. It was bad. It was bad.
It's because he stepped on the mound. That's all I was saying. You don't step on the mound. You don't step on the mound, bro.
Man, it felt like it's come on.
Yeah. And I'm not going to fake for the audiences. I hate baseball. I can't stand it. I've always said baseball needs more dunks and touchdowns. Everyone knows that about me, bro. Because, with basketball and football, I can watch adjustments happen and see it in real time, show me some positivity. With baseball, it's just I hope he don't hit it. Man, I hope he don't hit it. For, 3 hours. And it's so stressful for 3 hours. No clock. There's nothing there's just so much stress that goes into baseball. Anybody who has dealt with that for their entirety of their life, man, big ups to you, bro. I'm learning the game. I found out that they set each other's feet on fire when they get bored, which is a crime. But yeah, it's called hot foot. That's crazy, bro. That's wild. So I'm getting into baseball, but until next October, I will let you guys know that the Los Angeles Dodgers are champions of the world.
Yeah.
God bless us.
No, it's great. Lakers won't win, Rams won't win, but it's great to have the baseball team as champions of the world. So I'm happy for you guys for that. I'm happy for your
Saquon's doing well on the Eagles, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm a Bills fan. I don't know if you can see right over here. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills, the Bills of Buffalo, the eventual Super Bowl champ. Don't hit me with a Giants shot. Fuck the Giants. Listen, I'm a fan of New York's only football team. Fuck the Giants. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Look at that mean mug. Yeah, look at that face.
Sick fuck.
Come on.
No, the Bills are cool. Love the Bills. Josh Allen. Just watching Josh Allen in interviews, like, how do you not love that dude? I'm going for my Rams. We got a tough task with the Eagles, but nobody expected us to get past the Vikings. I'm hoping the players are able to focus, with everything that's happening over here. Bringing any type of joy to the city would be more than welcome. But if it's not my Rams, I would really dig Bills versus Lions.
Oh yeah.
See who gets their first one. That would be massive. I feel like that would be great for the sport as well. But yeah, dude, this Rams all day until they put us in the dirt.
Yeah. I feel for the people of St. Louis. I mean, you stole their team. Not cool.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, so, I mean, just not a cool thing to do.
Sorry, Nelly.
Yeah. You're the man. Really enjoyed this, man. Really, really enjoyed this. Congrats on all your success. It's tremendous to watch it. And your feed, your Twitter feed is a tremendous follow as well. So if anyone is looking for some shit talking, especially when it comes to pro wrestling, go follow that man. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And continued success and good luck to you with the film.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Anytime you need me on, just give me a ring. 11 in the morning is not that bad.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I'll be taking you up on that. Thank you, bud.
All right, for sure, man.
There he is. O'Shea Jackson Jr., kind enough to join us on this Tuesday morning. And again, thinking of everyone in Southern California. Man, that line about the rings at Intuit Dome is a tremendous line. Well done to him. Let me see. What a great name, too, O'Shea Jackson Jr. And what a legend his father is, but he is turning into a legend in his own right. And I feel like he can be. I mean, if Freddie Prinze killed it as a creative member, it was like a solid year and a half or so. Not everyone can stick there for so long, and he had other aspirations too. I feel like O'Shea Jackson would be a tremendous addition to the creative team. All kinds of drama, by the way, going on in the world of MMA as we speak. I feel like there's all kinds of drama with the Bellator and PFL fighters. A slew of tweets and messages. Let's show you some of them before we get to our next guest, who is Mackenzie Dern, our final guest of the day. Who's up first? Patricio Pitbull, self-called co-leader. Can I be honest? I saw this and then I saw GC's face in the middle. I'm like, oh no, did GC write thanks or sorry or that other thing? That's what I thought.
I forgot to crop it out.
Yeah, no problem. Self-called co-leader in MMA and Fighters First organization is cutting a bunch of fighters and forcing others to take pay cuts of up to 70%. No respect for fighter contracts and what they've accomplished. The self-called Fighters First organization is also changing its contracts so it's almost impossible for fighters to be free agents and to leave on free agency, also tying down fighters' payments for many years and taking away all their leverage. The self-called co-leader in MMA is ghosting some fighters and managers and leaving them with no answers while the owner makes silly and disrespectful posts on social media. Golly. We know Pitbull is a little disgruntled at the moment. RIP Bellator MMA. It's sad it's come to an end, and the organization had such a painful death. Sabotaged by Viacom execs in its last years, then sold to uncaring people that did their best to ruin it. Now, can we just ask the question? I mean, elephant in the room. Is Pitbull writing these tweets? What do we think? I'm going to go ahead and say negative.
He definitely didn't make the AI.
You're right.
Rest in peace, Bellator art.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
What else? What else do we have? What else? Corey Anderson. If all this info is solid and bro, is that a shot? I mean, I reported it. It's solid. Anyway, and Bellator champs are now PFL champs. That actually, to be fair, I said that's what I think is going to happen, but no official word. The good news is we now have more potential opponents / matchups. Now we can get back to fighting in the States. Maybe even more fights in Las Vegas. Yahoo! I don't think that means anything, to be honest. Regarding Vegas. What about this one from Eddie Alvarez? I enjoyed it. Hey, Bellator, I was thinking, now would be a great time to negotiate the rights to my fights I had during my time there. I'd like to offer $7 in total, and I'd be willing to go as high as 10 if you included a signed poster of Bjorn Rebney. Eddie loving this. Anything else?
Only $3 for a signed poster of Bjorn Rebney is a little bit disrespectful.
Well, it's like, how do you cut up the pie? Is it 5-5? Like, I know he said 7 for the fights, but I guess you can say. There was a message posted. We showed the tweet, but here's the message from Don Davis. Professional Fighters League acquired Bellator MMA 1 year ago, primarily for its great fighter roster. The PFL brand has become synonymous with the win in advance format and product innovation. PFL has established itself as a premium brand, doing things different to help grow our great sport of MMA. Going forward, all fight events and content will be PFL branded. The Bellator brand carries a rich history that will continue to be respected and appreciated through select fighter feature title bets. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. If they continue to call these title fights Bellator title fights, then there is no defending. There is no defense to that whatsoever. Let me tell you something right now. Kill Bellator. No one cares. It means nothing. I saw some fans being like, oh, I'm bummed tonight. You didn't care when they were alive. You hardly watched their shows. They were getting no ratings, no engagement. No one was watching. It was dying a slow death for multiple years. Turn Usman Nurmagomedov winner or Paul Hughes winner. Turn that guy into the PFL lightweight champion. Make Corey Anderson into the PFL light heavyweight champion. Turn anyone who is a Bellator champ, make them into a PFL champ. Just do that. Enough with the Bellator title. It means nothing. It is absolutely absurd to keep that belt, to keep that name on that belt alive. You don't have champions. There's PFL season champions. There is no actual champion. You have them right there. And let's be honest, they're all better than the PFL season champions, or at least more well-known, and no one would bat an eye if you just turn those guys into the PFL champions. Why would you keep this? This has to be a typo. Anyway, fans will continue to enjoy the immense Bellator fight library and historic fight content throughout our social, digital, and partner channels. All of our fighters are now integrated and connected in one powerful PFL brand worldwide. I don't know. It feels a little clunky. Kill it. All he had to put there, the Bellator champs are now the PFL champs. It's all one brand, right? Why would you keep that belt alive? Why would you keep that name alive? It means nothing. There is no cachet to it anymore. It means absolutely nothing. Stop with this. And the insinuation that Hitman is Kendrick and Drake is Hulk Hogan is absolutely insulting to me. I still can't get over that. I didn't know about this, by the way. No one told me about this. Yeah, what the hell?
Who would have told you about it?
You guys. You told me today.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have saw it. I mean, maybe I missed. I guess I didn't see it on Twitter, but what the hell? It's crazy. Who said this recently on the show? Oh, right.
Said what?
That's a bad analogy. Anyway, for me...
Wait, what?
No.
What was the analogy?
Forget about it. Listen. Unless proven otherwise, unless it's morally... And listen, I'm okay. I'm okay with putting myself out there. I'm okay. Aubrey, if you're seeing this, remember who had your back. I'm okay. Unless there is a moral conflict at play here, not some silly rap beef, accusation. Unless there's true evidence otherwise, I can't jump off the bandwagon. I can't kick my guy while he's down. My fellow countrymen, I don't do that. I'm not like you. You see, that's the difference. Y'all go around singing not like us. That's not how we roll. Canadians stick together. We are one. We are not the divided states of America. And so you guys might celebrate this type of activity. We don't do that. We don't get into beefs. We're all about peace and love, peace and love.
Yeah.
Hitman is the tactician. Drake is the lyrical technician. Do you understand? There's more of a connection there as opposed to some, Johnny come lately. He's not really playing at the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he is.
It's crazy.
Also, were you calling Kendrick Lamar a Johnny come lately?
Now you said that, not me.
Brother.
What do you think? How high do you think that stage is going to be? Because is it sort of like a roller coaster where you have to be a certain?
You going after his height right now?
No. I was saying because for people to
out with it.
No, seriously. I mean, yeah, it's personal. You have attacked our country. And by the way, shame on the Roger.
You attacked Drake.
Shame. No. You attack Drake. You attack our country. Okay.
Yeah.
One of us equals all of us. Shame on the Rogers Center. By the way, did you see that he's playing at the Rogers Center? Kendrick.
Yeah, he's a very popular artist.
No, that's crazy.
He's probably going to sell it out.
That is crazy. That is crazy. This dude playing at the Rogers Center in Toronto in the 6.
He is very talented.
You say this dude, Johnny come lately, like he's
bro,
one of the most popular artists of this generation.
Don't get me started on LeBron. Turned his back on his boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I can feel that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Drake's walking out with Bronny after he has his.
I've noticed we've picked up crazy work now.
Yeah, it's crazy
in
work.
the arsenal.
Is that
the kid's really rubbing off on?
Is that not a thing? Or?
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. I just have never heard you say it until 8 days ago.
It's nasty work.
Yeah,
how about that?
Nasty work. Yeah.
Big Forest match coming up.
Are you going to watch the Super Bowl halftime show? He's definitely going to play They're Not Like Us.
And that will be, and while he's playing it in the background, they'll have video footage of Fonzie going over the shark while he's water skiing.
I don't know the reference.
Frank, explain it.
You saying that's nasty work, and then in the next sentence you make a Happy Days reference?
Yes, that's right. That's the rage.
That's nasty work.
That's called range, okay? That's called, being able range. That's called
You think your kids know who Fonzie is?
No, but my audience does.
I barely know who Fonzie is.
Do you understand the reference?
No, I actually have no idea what you're talking
Serious.
about.
The term jumping over the shark is in reference to, on Happy Days, there was a scene towards the end of the run of that great television show. There was a scene where the Fonz was on water skis, and at one point he literally jumps over a shark, and people pointed to that moment as Happy Days isn't cool, the Fonz isn't cool, the show is dead. And so the term jumping over the shark was born from that scene.
Wow. Fonz was played out.
He was played out, just like KL. Dun, 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 dun.
I would beg to differ. I would say KL is as hot as he's ever been.
Let me tell you something. When you go
performing at the Super
very
Bowl,
talented.
When you go how much is he getting paid for that? Nothing.
How much exposure will he get from it?
Let me tell you something. When I go to a bar mitzvah and there's 12-year-old kids singing A minor, that means okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. In the 90s, they weren't playing Hit 'Em Up at bar mitzvahs. They weren't playing First I can't even say it. It was so crass. Greatest song of all time. Greatest diss track of all time. Right?
I don't know. In 20 years, people will probably be saying They Not Like Us is the...
Nah, here comes Rick. He's going to say it's Ether. Blah, blah, blah.
Ether's also good.
Listen. Anyone who puts Not Like Us in the same category as Ether
I'm surprised you
Hit 'Em Up.
I'm surprised you say Hit 'Em Up instead of Back to Back.
What do you mean? I learned the game from William Wesley. He can never attack me. Back to back like I'm Jordan in the 90s, 97. That one?
Yeah.
That's a great one.
That's your guy.
Who's that in? Who's that?
Toronto Blue Jays on the cover?
Yeah, it's a good one. Wait, that's a diss track about who?
Meek Mill.
Yeah, I knew that. Hate Philly also.
All-time beef there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mackenzie, this is
Hey, Mackenzie, what's up?
That's Eric. Ariel's producer.
I'm getting, I'm getting a little bit fired up. I mean, we're 11 minutes away from the city ground.
Yeah.
Just absolutely
Big one.
going on fire. And
Big
how
one,
about
big
the-
one,
I
big
mean,
one.
It's 1 versus 2, essentially.
You know, not only your co-host of the Great Boxing Show, Ariel Helwani, is a Liverpool fan. You know, Jordan is a
No, he's not. He's
Tottenham fan.
Oh, yeah,
Damn
Tottenham.
it.
Yeah.
I actually watched him watch Tottenham and Liverpool. Thought he was a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I blew that one.
Yeah.
Also, I think I just mispronounced Tottenham.
Yeah, that's
Twice.
bad. Let me tell you something. When you say Tottenham or Nottingham and not Nottingham or Tottenham, nasty work. Nasty work. They get so mad. Oh, do they get mad? And they always get so mad every time I talk about Nottingham. They don't realize I literally watch every single game, and if I'm not able to watch at home, I'm watching on the phone. And then they bring up like the old tweets about Leicester City and Everton, not knowing that was all a bit. Never watched a second. It's like, do you not get the show? You're new to the show, right? Like Le Batard says, do you not get the show?
We were in the bathroom the other week and they were playing, and you had it up on the urinal.
Work or shoot?
You washed your hands after.
Legit though, right? Was it not legit? I'm listening to them beat Wolves at the urinal.
Yes, you had the phone tilted up on the urinal as you.
No, I would never do that. That is nasty work right there. That is.
And then you were so excited about the game, you didn't even wash your hands on the way out.
Stop it.
I was like, all right.
That is awful. Stop. That's slanderous. All right, let's say hello to our final guest of the day. She was victorious on Saturday at the world's most famous Apex, a rematch of a fight that happened almost, if my math is correct, 5.5 years ago, back in 2019. She got it done. She wins via armbar. She's the great Mackenzie Dern, kind enough to join us. There she is. Hello, Mackenzie. How are you?
Hey, Ariel. Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Parabéns. Congratulations. By the way, I love this area that you always join us from. Like this little, what is this? Is that your backyard back there? Is that bamboo?
Yeah, the curtains.
Oh, that's curtains.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a bamboo.
Yeah, the outside curtains, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I totally botched that. I'm sorry.
No, the patio.
It looks very nice.
Thank you.
You live in Southern California, right?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yeah, everything here is okay. We're in Huntington Beach. It's a little bit like 30 minutes north. So like LA area.
Okay. All right. So everyone's safe and sound.
Yes.
Okay. Great win for you. A very, very strong performance. And I loved how the talk going into the fight was just about your evolution, the difference between you in 2025 compared to 2019. I feel like you exemplified that on Saturday, just how far you have come as a fighter. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think my emotion after was mostly because of that, you know, just to feel like, you know, all the people who believe in me and have been investing their time and just like pep talking me and, you know, like seeing my potential even before that I could see to myself, you know, and then to be able to have like, I mean, every fight I've been feeling I've gotten better, a little bit better, even sometimes it doesn't show as much, but to be able to have that against, not against necessarily Amanda, but as someone that I could have based the performance off of, you know, 5 years ago. Even though, I mean, I just had Moa and like I know the circumstances.
Sure.
But even if I didn't have Moa, just striking wise, takedown wise, I've been working on that a lot. So, and I think it's been showing in my last fights too. You know, I was able to get some takedowns with Amanda Lemos and Lupita, and so I think my wrestling has been getting better, and the striking too. But yeah, just to have that performance, and I mean Amanda, you know, she's good. No one's ever submitted her before, and I know she's been training hard too. She just had 5 rounds with Rose, so yeah, it was good. Happy performance.
We've talked and acknowledged your improvement and your evolution. Now that you fight her again, you know, some 5 or so years later, do you think she has improved in the last 5 years?
I think I don't think too much. I think when I fought her, she was almost like she was at a very good moment. And for athletes, you know, we can be like, I don't know, confidence is such a big thing for fighters, you know. And I think athletes in general, you know, like no matter what sport, I think that your confidence and your mindset, even if you could be training, have like a really, really good camp, or you could have maybe not so good camp, but if you're confident and just you believe in yourself that much, you know, you can kind of be on a roll. And I think when I fought her in the beginning, she was at a really good moment of her career. She had was racking up wins back to back, and um, not that she's not confident now or anything like that, but I think just kind of going up in divisions, and she's gained a lot of experience for sure, 100%. I think experience is something that I'm gaining now too, and starting to mature as a MMA fighter, and I think she has that too. But stylistic wise, game wise, adding new things to her game, I think she's, in my opinion, I think that maybe they're more like believing in what they do and like training hard at what they continue to do, that she's done when she was winning, and I think they're trying to train a lot that, instead of adding more different things to the game.
Afterwards, as you know, Conor McGregor said he'd like to see a trilogy between you two. Do you have any interest in this?
For sure. I mean, definitely if they would like to see a trilogy, I think that would be fun, I think we both have a big following, and we kind of are like a little bit similar personality, I think, just kind of like all girly and like friendly with everyone and like all friends and stuff. But yeah, I think for sure if they would like to have a trilogy, that would be a cool match. I like all the top 5 girls basically I've fought before, so I'm probably gonna have a more like trilogy or rematches soon.
Okay, so I loved seeing your daughter Moa there with you by your side. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about her. First off, I'm always kind of drawn to what kids are holding. I have young children myself, and I noticed that she was holding my kids call it a stuffed friend. I used to call them a stuffed animal, but there she is. What does that toy? Is that like a comfort toy for her? Is that her favorite? Is there a reason why she was holding on to that one?
No, that was just her newest one.
Okay, all right.
That was her newest one. She had just gotten in Vegas, so she was like, it was special to her. She has her favorite one is a bunny that she takes she takes it everywhere. This like white stuffed bunny. We lost it in Abu Dhabi when she took it.
Oh no.
In Abu Dhabi, but we were able to get it back, from the lost and found and everything. So yeah, she has this favorite bunny. But yeah, that was her new Pokemon one that she's like getting into now.
Yeah. There's always stages. They always get like really into certain things. I remember my kids have kind of grown out of the Pokemon stage. It lasted like 6 months or so. And when you look on the look on her face, like she looked happy, but also like I can't imagine what it's like seeing a loved one as an adult fight. And here she is as a young child seeing her mom fight, who's the most important person in her world. And so it's almost like I think she was sad, relieved, dealing with a mix of emotions. Like the look on her face as her mom, what is she feeling there? What is she experiencing seeing you fight and ultimately win?
Yeah, Moa, she's like I know how she's feeling because I was the same way. Like when my dad would fight and I was younger and I'd watch him fight like at the tournament, I'd be crying and he'd be like winning and I'd be like crying like I just win. It's just so much emotion. And Moa, she's like in Brazil, we gave like the first piece of cake on a birthday cake to. We say like oh the first piece is like to a very special person. So like on my birthday when I give the first piece of cake, I made a speech like, oh, this person is like the best thing in my life, she said, and she was already starting to cry before I gave her the piece of cake, so she's someone who when in like Christmas when she got her favorite toy, she was crying. She's like, I'm so happy, Mom, I'm crying because I'm so happy. So she's definitely like I guess kind of like a crier with emotion. And yeah, she told me that she was crying just on my walk out when I was walking out of the music, But it's just nervous and emotions and excited. And she always I always promise we'll go someplace after my fights, So she really wants me to win so we can go to like Disneyland or Legoland or someplace like that. But yeah, I thought it was like really important for her to feel, what it's like getting your hand raised and winning that with me, so she really feels like she's part of this and like this win is ours, I think maybe now it's still like, with cameras and all those things, it's a lot. But I think she's really like starting to get into. She went to school yesterday with like the UFC hat and my UFC T-shirt as a dress kind of thing. And driving back, she's like, "Mom, you need to train every single day because then you're gonna get a belt, and then you get another belt, and then you can get lots of belts." So now she's really understanding like the sacrifice and the reward. That if you train every day, then we can get the belt. So yeah, there for sure she was feeling like relieved, you know. She'll tell me like, oh, I saw the girl you're gonna fight in the hotel, you know, and she's getting like more involved. She wants to stay with me the whole time. But yeah, she was super happy. But cameras and everything, well, she's 5, you know.
Yeah.
But she kind of like she thinks it's cool too at the same time, you know. It's a mix.
Has she started to say she wants to do this as well?
Like she loves to fight, you know. She'll fight with me all the time, like play fight, and you know, she'll put the gi on and everything. But after she does a little bit with jiu-jitsu, she always wants to go to like the punching part, the MMA part. But sometimes she says she wants to, but she's kind of like, ah, no, it hurts. You know, I think on my hard days, like with Amanda Lemos, when she saw me, she was like, I don't want to do that. You know, but with Amanda, like when it's a good fight like this, no injuries, then she's like, oh yeah, maybe I can do that, you know, and she starts getting into it. But she's just about that age. She's starting to get like really, I don't know, attracted to the idea of fighting now.
Okay. It was amazing to see her in there because we remember that you fought Amanda for the first time. I think it was like 4 months after you had your daughter, right? Which I still can't wrap my head around. At the time, I remember thinking like this seems very quick. Obviously, I've never experienced it, but being around people who have to come back and be fit enough to fight someone, let alone like go for a run and work out. Mind blowing, and now, you know, here she is standing in the cage with you all these years later. In retrospect, do you think you came back too soon, 4 months after giving birth?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I mean, it's Florida, right? I fought in I think I fought in Tampa. I mean, they like let anything go.
Yeah.
Like, oh, for months, that's fine. Like breastfeeding and like no problem. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it was like that. I was still like a jiu-jitsu girl, basically, you know? So it's like in jiu-jitsu, I fought 4 months after my ACL surgery, and like I got 3rd place at the Pan American Championship, which is it's one of the biggest tournaments, you know, it's not the World Championships, but my mind was like, and I was like clear to come back, but you know, you always know you have a higher chance to lose, but when you, like I still believed against Amanda, and even like when I was doing jiu-jitsu, I had the chances to win. And I always thought like, oh, it's better I get back into it because being longer away, you have like the nerves of getting back in and it's just a longer time. And I always preferred to like take my chances of maybe losing. You know, I got like 3rd for jiu-jitsu. Podium is good, you know, being on the podium, that's still good, you know, it's not bad. You have like the next weekend or whatever, another tournament, and you can kind of get that back, or you have the absolute division that you can try and fight the person again. So for jiu-jitsu, it's not that big of a deal, you know, like a win and you kind of are building yourself there. In MMA nowadays, now I'm a more MMA fighter and I'm getting closer to the title, and you know that the record makes a difference with sponsors, with fans, with people wanting to watch you, and that respect that you have from the fighters, being like undefeated and just, you know what I mean? There's a lot more that goes in it, and I think not that you need to choose your fights or things like that, but you know, I was now like, oh, I just want to be like 1 year off. I was already like 9 months without fighting, you know. I had done back-to-back fights as soon as I came to the UFC with Ashley Yoder in March, and then Amanda Cooper in May. And then I took like the whole pregnancy off, you know. So I was like, no, I want to get back in. And everyone just kind of like, oh, she's never going to come back. You know, she's not going to be, I had lost all these followers, like 70,000 followers. So just for me to like be on weight, especially since my last fight before the pregnancy, I had missed by like, it was one of the biggest weight misses until then, you know. After that, they had a lot more of those, you know, but it was like one of the biggest one, I think was like 7 pounds. So just for me to be like on weight, you know, I was like 118 after the pregnancy, and I was like, okay, yeah, I feel good, you know. And like you said, 4 months was like I fought, you know. She was born June 9th and I fought October 11th. So it was like I was back fighting 4 months. So I came back training, like I had trained maybe 2 months for that fight. After being alone. So yeah, for sure, I think I came back too soon. You know, I was like, oh no, it's better I come back in, you know, whatever. Now I feel like my career, I think both of our careers, mine and Amanda's, took a big, it changed paths a lot
Yeah.
of like how our career would be, you know. Not that I wouldn't have any losses on my record or anything like that, but it definitely did a big change because of that decision, you know. And so not that I regret it, but yeah, like you said, it was like such a blessing to have Moa there with me and like proud of me and kind of part of this whole journey, and to be able to get that back with the submission, you know, the way it did, and getting takedowns and feeling calmer with my striking. I think that was a big thing of getting my striking calmer. You know, I see like Tatiana and Carla Esparza. Sometimes they don't throw as many punches, and I kind of make my fights a little bit harder than I need to. Not hard, yeah, harder, but like going into the brawling and stuff like that when you can see the right moments to get a takedown now. But now my takedowns are better too, so now I'm not so scared to go through the takedown and get tired. So it's just all evolving.
You've come a long way, and you stole the show at the media day on Wednesday. What about this dog of yours? Oh my God! Like this guy. First of all, name, breed, how much? And I'm assuming, is it a boy?
It's a boy, yeah. That's Mac.
Matt, how much does he weigh?
He's 130 right now.
Golly, how old?
He's a year and a half.
And did you ask the UFC, or did you just show up with him?
Yeah, I showed up with him. He's like a service dog, but yeah, like and like I was taking him with me and everything, and they were fine with him going up there. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you can take him up there with you if you want. You know, so I'm like, okay, you know. But he was already with me, but I was just gonna hand him off like to sit at the table. But he's a good boy. He's half like guard dog and then half. I mean, he's not registered as emotional support. I just say he's emotional support just because, man, it's so good to be able to, like, for me, who I'm trying to be calmer in my fights and kind of feel like I'm sparring where I'm seeing everything and not get so much adrenaline where I kind of go blind a little bit out there. So to have things kind of as familiar as possible at home, it helps me a lot. But yeah, he's more guard dog. He's more like security, you know, like he kind of protects and but he's a really good boy.
I was hoping that perhaps you would walk to the cage with him on Saturday. Did you ask if that was possible?
Yeah. Yeah, I did, you know, but the commission, they're all like, oh, you should be fighting if you have an emotional support dog. And I'm like, I mean, he's not really, obviously, he's not like a real emotional support dog. I mean, he's other things, but yeah, I mean, he'll probably call more attention than the actual fight.
And I'm assuming you drove to Las Vegas with him in the car?
Yeah, but he goes on airplanes and stuff too. Like,
really?
I'll take him to Brazil. Yeah, on airplane but he goes on top, you know. But he's his own seat. He's so big.
Wow. What do you mean he goes on top?
Like he'll go with where we sit, not underneath.
No, of course. So you have to like book him his own seat.
Yeah.
And he sits there for 10 or so hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Wow. Well done. I love it. Next month we have the title on the line, Zhang versus Tatiana, who you just referenced. Who do you like in that fight?
Man, I mean, as a fan, you know, I'm a fan of Zhang Weili. I think just every fight she's evolving. She beat took down Amanda Lemos. She took down a lot young Shauna. So as a grappler, I like seeing when a striker is evolving and having good ground game too, you know. And then obviously for me, one of the best fights in history with Joanna. So I'm a fan, and I think Zhang Weili is more well-rounded. But as a fighter who maybe could potentially fight one of them, I'm hoping Tatiana wins just to kind of throw the division around a little bit, like have some different movement in the division. And as a grappler, I would like to fight Tatiana and just kind of see how our fight would play out. You know, I've always wanted to fight Carla Esparza. But then she like had her daughter, or I think her son, and so now we have Tatiana too. So yeah, for matchup wise, I'm hoping Tatiana, but I think that Zhang Weili will win.
You're doing great in MMA now, 2 in a row. You're well on track to getting into that title picture. But I am curious. The world of jiu-jitsu is fascinating right now, and you know, I don't follow it as much as I do maybe MMA or boxing, but I love the characters. I love what Craig Jones is doing, and I know you competed at CJI. Love obviously seeing, you know, the evolution. ADCC is a foundational organization, and now seeing the UFC get involved in signing guys like Mikey Musumeci. What are your plans as far as jiu-jitsu in 2025? Is the UFC talking to you? I mean, you're one of the faces of women's jiu-jitsu. You have been for so long. Is that of interest? Go back to CJI. What are you thinking as far as your activity in jiu-jitsu this year?
Yeah, for sure. If like CGI has me back, I would love to have them back. Especially, I mean, if I can, it would be even better if I could kind of have a full camp for CGI. Not that I didn't have a camp for this one, but it was kind of, it was like really close to my fight with Lupita. So it's kind of a little bit, you know, um, it was just kind of mixed with a different fight, and obviously my focus is 100% MMA, so that was like my main training. But yeah, if I could have like another fight at CGI, always be part of it. It's always fun, I'm like you said, I like what Craig is doing for the entertainment and kind of just reaching, different spectators, people who maybe usually jujitsu who watch jujitsu, or it's like their kids or family members do it. They know someone who practices it, or they've like trained it themselves. It's not like the average person on the street really knows or watches jujitsu. So I think just bringing the entertainment part of it and people being like, okay, what's going on? It's like a guy against a girl and like Gabby and Craig and all these things. It's more of kind of like a one time a year kind of thing, or like special events. I don't think it's that consistent, every month or things like that. So I would definitely like to, if they want me to be part again, it's really good. They bring good pay for the fighters. And I think it helps the other events, even though obviously ADCC, the prestige of an ADCC title, there's like only that and world championships that can compare to that, the prestige of it. But since I already have those titles, for sure the money is kind of where it is for me right now. And then of course, like with the UFC going into the fighter contracts for jiu-jitsu fighters, I would definitely want to get part of that, kind of have that mixed in with my regular UFC contract and that would even help my jiu-jitsu, keep training for my jiu-jitsu and getting my keeping my jiu-jitsu up to part for my MMA fights, So after my Craig Jones fights, making stuff, they're like, you got to be fighting for us. Like, what the heck, So definitely if they get the women's division, or I'm not sure how evolved they are in the concept, but I mean, yeah, that's basically the whole reason why I went to MMA and UFC, was to represent jiu-jitsu and get jiu-jitsu, just keep supporting jiu-jitsu in the world and try and get as many women possible, to get involved and to try it and to at least like to watch it and enjoy it. So to be able to be part of that and kind of see that happening with the UFC, it's amazing, and I'll definitely hope Dana will have me in there too.
I maintain, and I hope you take this the right way. I don't think many people believe that you would be around in 2025, still fighting almost 10 years after making your MMA debut. I think they all thought you would go in. Jiu-jitsu people, they don't like to get hit. You won't get hit. You don't like to make weight, this and that. I think you have proven a lot of people wrong, that you're like such a big part of the division, on a winning streak, a major player in this weight class. One of the best weight classes in women's MMA, obviously as deep as it is. And I wonder if deep down inside you thought that you would still be around, 9 years after making your pro debut.
No, I mean, I didn't even think that far into it. I was just like enjoying the process. Kind of it was kind of like a path that was picked, like they picked for me, basically. Or I guess God or whoever. It's like I didn't even think about being a champion. I didn't even know if I had like that potential. I wasn't even thinking that far. It was more just kind of Ronda Rousey came in. Then the people I was training with, they all believed in me and kind of pushed me. Then Sean was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come out and see you." Like Sean met me at the UFC Expo that I was competing at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and he came up to me. He's like. And I didn't know who he was, and he was like, "Oh, do you wanna?" I took a picture with his daughter, who was trained jiu-jitsu and everything, and he was like, "Do you ever want to like do MMA?" And I was like, I don't know. People ask me about that, but I'm not sure. He was like, "Oh yeah, well you should. I think you'd be good." And he that's where he kind of started the I don't know, just watching. I guess maybe just had his eyes on me and thinking like maybe I could be a good for the division. And yeah, so I was just kind of getting into it. just to see if I liked it, how I would feel to get punched in the face, So, and then obviously when I came in, it was like all this fame and money, and I was like, single. I wasn't a mom. I was like, wow, this is so much fun. I'm like, so like compared from jiu-jitsu world, to the going into the MMA world, it was like, just having fun with it, and now you start to like it and you start to feel yourself getting better. It's like a white belt going to a blue belt to a purple belt. You start getting excited and seeing like, oh, you're almost there. Yeah, okay, I got it. I'm starting to get this, and yeah, definitely I saw like I wanted to be a champion. Probably I think after fighting probably like fighting my first main event, against Marina. I was like, okay, yeah, I really want to take this serious. And if they're like, not take it serious, but like go for the long run, you have like your main event and you lose it and you're like, man, I don't want to just be, well, like, why am I doing this, just to be like one more fighter where people like, okay, I have good fights there, here and there. And okay, get some performance of the night. I had got fight of the night on that fight, but I lost, So I was like, man, I don't want to just have like tough fights and people be like, oh yeah, you're a tough fighter, I want to like, I better just go back to jiu-jitsu. That's what I want to do, where I can do seminars. I don't get punched in the face and, do these special super fights. And that was kind of like, no, I want to be this to be a champion, So yeah, definitely. I wasn't expecting to go in this and yeah, and then just the pregnancy going through and everything like that. So it's been a long journey, but it's been fun. And I really feel like the fans, even if they haven't supported me from the beginning or if they stopped supporting me or whatever, I feel like whoever's been watching me since, 2018 till now, they've kind of really been part of just watching me grow in the division and becoming an MMA fighter.
7th bonus in the UFC, 4th sub in the UFC. That's most ever in the strawweight division. You continue to evolve. You continue to get better. Congratulations, parabéns on the win. Enjoy your time off. I think you'll be attending UFC 311 if all goes according to plan. So enjoy that as well. And thank you as always for the time, Mackenzie. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Ariel. I appreciate it. Always good talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There she is, and great talking to you as well. The great Mackenzie Dern joining us, and she has now won 2 in a row, and she is right back in the mix in the 115-pound division, a huge title fight coming up in that weight class in less than a month in Sydney. Massive fight. Tatiana Suarez versus Zhang Weili has been the fight to make at 115 for quite some time, and they finally made it, and we are less than a month away, and hopefully it remains. I say hopefully it remains. That also pertains to the current score at the world-famous City Ground. Did you guys happen to catch Chris Wood's goal in the 8th minute against Liverpool? Did you happen to catch? Let's take a quick look at I like to look at the table because they update it in real time. Let's take a quick look here, guys. Anyone?
Second, 3 points out of first place.
3 points. 43 points for Nottingham Forest.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable. The City Ground is rocking. We're doing a show at 5 o'clock with lifelong, hardcore Liverpool supporter Ade Oladipo. Could you imagine what the scenes will be like?
Long way to go.
Long way to go.
73 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Minutes. And we've already gotten our each game Chris Wood goal out of the way.
I know.
So we got a long way to go here.
Oh, my God. Did you guys all pop back there?
Big pop.
No one was watching, right?
No, Jordan's got it up.
The crazy thing about it is you used to be way more into them when they were like in relegation zone. I feel like you're not as into them this year.
I watch almost every single game.
I don't feel the same. I need to feel it.
I got a jersey. What more do you want from me? Okay, I mean, what more do you want?
Oh, my God. What's this? Jordan just sent me something. I lost it. 4. Liverpool has had 400. Nottingham Forest has not conceded a goal in 400 straight Premier League minutes. And I hope I didn't just jinx it, but we do have Matt Sells, who has been an absolute wall. What a wall he has been. And I remember when they acquired him in a January transfer window acquisition, when they signed him, everyone was like, who's this guy? I think did he come from Belgium or something? He was on Newcastle back there. Oh, Liverpool's threatening here. Liverpool's threatening. And the wall that has become the Nottingham Forest back four. I mean, the defense has come such a long way. Oh my God. A good friend of mine who works for the club called me this morning as he was walking onto the pitch. He showed me the world famous City Ground, and we stood there together, virtually in unison, singing City Ground, away down Georgia. No, you know that song that they sing?
Yeah, word for word. You nailed
Yeah.
that, man.
Just want to be clear, he stood there.
Well, virtually we stood in unison. I was
but
in
he
my
stood
living
there
room.
and you-
He walked out. Oh, it was fantastic. The scenes were just fantastic. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to take this all in. A great show has been had with 4 great guests. Any other drama from the Bellator PFL tweets, or are we all good on that front? We got through all of them, right?
Yeah,
or
I
at
think we're all
least
good.
the notable ones.
Yeah, we're all good.
Holly Holm, is her next fight in MMA or boxing?
Boxing.
BKFC.
Whoa.
What?
Nah.
I thought you were gonna. Honestly, the dark horse is Karate Combat.
That's not a bad shout.
You're joking.
Big gift for Karate Combat.
You're joking about BKFC, right?
That's my prediction.
Really? Wow. I mean, that would be a nice get. They just announced Max Crosby as a
saw that
as
Shout
an
out,
investor.
man. I mean, guy loves the sport of MMA. It's unreal.
It feels like logically, right? The 2 biggest fights she could get right now are like
Home,
Katie Taylor,
Home, Serrano, Home, Mayer.
Honestly, even like a Clarissa, right? This is my feeling. Clarissa's in need of an opponent with a name, right? Somebody who can like be top of the bill with her. And so
I just think she might be too big.
But she's going to be too big for everybody. That's the problem,
Yeah.
right? And so I think somebody who's coming from MMA like Holly will be willing to maybe like test that and challenge herself. Then again, they trained together when Clarissa was out in Albuquerque, and maybe there's like a relationship there that doesn't. But I feel like
that's
could be,
right. That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good call.
when she was training for MMA, obviously.
Yep.
But I feel like that could be something. But Katie Taylor is number 1, right? Like that feels like the biggest possible. But if I'm Katie or even Amanda, I want that fight. I want Katie and Amanda to fight. That's the biggest.
If for whatever reason, the politics, whatever, if for whatever reason they can't make that trilogy, that's the biggest one.
I'd be there day one for.
I would say Katie versus Holly makes the most sense from a size perspective. Like Holly's 135, Katie 135, 140. It's always there's always a jump, right? There's always a jump for Amanda. Amanda's really truly a 126 pounder. So I would probably go with the Katie fight first.
But as we see, like even against Kate, like that's no problem for her.
I mean, she almost won that fight, and a lot of people thought that she actually won that fight. So I'm curious. I'm curious. And look, good on the UFC. They didn't hold her back. They didn't say no, you have to finish out the contract, or they didn't say you need an exclusive negotiation period or any of this craziness. She really did it all in the UFC at this point. She won the belt. She's fought the big fights. She's had massive opportunities. And I was happy to see, for the most part, a lot of people show her some love and not just be like, oh, fight night, Holly, all this kind of nonsense. Like I was really happy to see that. I think that she deserves that. She's a legend. She should be a UFC Hall of Famer. She should be she is already in the Boxing Hall of Fame, I do believe. Put her in the freaking Kickboxing Hall of Fame as well, if you ask me. So she'll be on the show tomorrow. Also on the show, like I said, Jack Catterall and Arnold Barbosa. How about that face-off there, huh? Started off a little bit slow.
Got spicy.
And I was worried about the language barrier.
No, there was no language barrier.
Benavidez fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
That was great. That was tremendous.
He was unbelievable.
I mean, I liked the dynamic between the both of them. Morrell is laid back, just kind of, making little potshot jokes. And Benavidez is just amped, just on 11, just sure that he's going to destroy him. I love that. I mean, the fight itself is tremendous, but yes, the dynamic between the two of them, I was quite excited about that.
Is this, since we started on Crown,
yes,
is this the best three-headed monster day so far, where there's a mega event?
Oh, between wrestling,
MMA.
It would have to be, because what would the wrestling one be?
Like thus far? There's never been a day. Oh, you mean what's the wrestling one on February 1st?
No, he's saying we only started like let's say October. Would there have been?
I mean, I'm already bet John Cena minus 190. I can get a little.
And I can't wait for the lottery. We have the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I watched Ricky Stenicki over the weekend.
Oh yeah, how was it?
I watched that too.
Yeah, I feel that much better about the John Cena minus 190.
He was good in that movie.
But yeah, what would the wrestling event have been for a 3?
Yeah, Survivor Series Crown Jewel, but nothing.
There was nothing going on that day.
Yeah,
for the other.
These are 3 gigantic. Izzy must-win situation, right?
Sick card too.
Must win, and then freaking Shara Bullet against MVP is phenomenal. Benavidez Morrell is phenomenal.
Fireworks, almost guaranteed.
The whole card is actually quite good from a PBC perspective. Also on the card is Brandon Figueroa against Stephen Fulton Jr. in a rematch. Fulton won the first. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who's always great, against Angel Fierro. Jesus Ramos Jr. against Jason Rosario. Pitbull Cruz is amazing. Always love watching him fight. Probably gave Tank Davis his toughest fight on short notice, too, a couple of years back. So, solid stuff. It's on pay-per-view. Royal Rumble to the rest of the world outside the U.S. is on Netflix for free now. Well, you know what I mean, like not behind.
Only, yeah.
And then here it's on Peacock if you have Peacock, and then freaking Izzy Imavov is either on Plus or Big ESPN. So solid shit. I mean, I don't think there's been anything better. Maybe February 22nd is a good one. Better be a Bivol. And then the UFC Seattle card, but no great wrestling. And then I can't think that far down the road. When's Elimination Chamber? Is it maybe Elimination Chamber 20? What?
I'm just loving the play-by-play of the typing.
Oh, when is it?
Elimination.
Oh, it's at the Rogers Center. Oh, the Rogers, March 1st.
Home of one Kendrick Lamar.
I was going to say the same thing.
Fuck the Rogers Center.
The home game for Kendrick.
Okay.
I gotta say, I just appreciated O'Shea Jackson, like really not backing down from that.
Great guest.
He was great. He was fantastic.
Never met him. What time was our heart out?
We got
30.
No.
What, you got more?
No, I got nothing. I just want to say it's getting very. What is going on over
It's
here?
a cloud.
No,
Somebody's
Cloud. It sunset's not for another until.
Jordan.
Is that a
what's
funnel cloud?
What's happening to celebrate?
Someone scored. Did someone
Tornado
score?
in New York City.
Oh no, this is the replay. Oh, what a goal from Chris. Yeah, what is going on over there? Chris Wood.
So many questions.
Chrissy. You know their song for Chris Wood is Chrissy Wood. Chrissy Wood.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I don't love that. It's just like, is that the song for everything?
I don't recognize that song.
You don't. Yeah. Well, you haven't watched in a minute.
I don't love it.
No, there's only one tune that goes.
Oh, I got it. Frank, you like that one?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Frank's the biggest Force fan out of all of us.
No.
Beep.
Frank, did my shrimp cocktail come?
I
ordered it.
And
Uber Eats.
I gobbled it up.
Would you ever order shrimp cocktail Uber Eats?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
would?
you would.
Yeah, 100%.
If you and your lovely wife are ordering takeout, and it's a new place, and you notice that there's shrimp cocktail on it, do you have to order it?
Ordering it.
You have to, even takeout.
Even take what's
when
wrong
it's
with
takeout, he has this giant glass goblet that he carries around everywhere. So if it comes in a plastic tray, he can transport it into the glass goblet to make it feel like an authentic.
You guys
shrimp
don't,
cocktail.
but I have ordered shrimp cocktail, especially from like Mexican seafood places where they do the cocktails a little different. And they bring it to you in a cup with a lid, and they cover it up with saran wrap. Oh my God, it's like Christmas morning.
I went to 7-Eleven with him one time, and he got the shrimp cocktail.
Stop.
Yeah, and it was like on sale. It was like must be sold by today. And he's like,
What is with you guys thinking
Can't
like shrimp is
get
bad?
over a bargain.
Is it a thing like shellfish?
It's your love for shrimp cocktail. Like you're like, if they have it on the menu, I have to order the shrimp cocktail, no matter where we are.
For those that don't know, Frank has a rule: if there's shrimp cocktail on the menu, no matter the day, if he's sitting there and he reads it, he just has to order it. And so there we were back in September in a very important business meeting in Las Vegas, having breakfast, and they just so happened to have shrimp cocktail on the menu. And Frank ordered, what was it, 25-piecer?
Yeah, oh no, it's 12.
Okay.
But he ordered. Don't forget, he ordered two.
No,
he ordered two.
Also,
He ordered two.
couple things to clarify here. You say morning, It was truly. This wasn't like 11:45 brunch. This was like 9:30.
Vegas. You never know what time
9:30 a.m. We're also at a table with like 15 people, and they essentially split us up. Me and Rick are next to each other. You're way over on the left end. Frank's all the way over on the right end. Not only did they drop down a big shrimp cocktail for him at 9:30, it also is accompanied by an iced coffee.
A really good iced coffee.
Oh, God. Elbowing Rick and then just giving him a point, like, look all the way down the table. No one else has food. And then there's Frank just dropping in like he's a king. Shrimp at 9:30 in the morning.
This is amazing.
Everybody else
wild thing I've ever seen.
Everybody else is
staring at me.
starving.
Like, do you want some? Like, I don't understand what the looks are for. Like,
they're like, you got to get the lox here. They're known for their lox and bagels. And Frank's like, oh, great. I'll have a shrimp cocktail, please.
So
two.
Let me get this right.
I'll have
you
two.
can eat salmon at breakfast time, but a shellfish.
It's actually a great point.
Yeah.
God, it's just so.
There's just something
Wait,
about
that's
it.
not a great point.
Dude,
what are you talking
an
about?
amazing point.
Smoked
I
lox
joke-
is a breakfast food.
So
Shrimp cocktail is not. This
Why
is
would they
not.
have it on
Don't
the
say
menu?
this is a
It
good
wasn't
point.
like,
It's not a good
sir,
point.
you're ordering from the midnight menu. It's currently closed.
Also-
Like, damn it, I see it on the menu. Give it to me. No, it's on the breakfast menu for a reason.
Also, how about Frank not just like being blissfully unaware of the idea of like bad shellfish preparation and being like, what? Why are you guys so concerned about how shrimp
I joked about the
reputable
7-Eleven. I joked about the 7-Eleven.
Frank's
We
like,
go to
yeah.
the grocery store and he gets shrimp cocktail.
Wegmans has great shrimp cocktail.
Is that true? The 7-Eleven?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's
There's
a
No,
question.
I
7-Eleven does
joked
not
about the
Oh,
7-Eleven.
got it. Okay.
He actually goes to Wegmans and gets it.
I
if they did, it'd be
assume that
He's
your
like,
I assume that your
Frank, man.
rule comes from shrimp cocktail being baseline great, universally great. Have you ever had bad shrimp cocktail?
Yeah, 2 days after Christmas,
Oh.
I was eating it out of the fridge, and I looked at the package, and it was like, must be frozen at all times. I'm like, but it tastes so good, and I had to throw it out.
Wait,
So then how did you not comprehend what we were talking about in the shrimp cocktail delivery and prep?
Because it said it needs to be frozen, and it had been in the fridge for 2 days after
The
Christmas.
shrimp cocktail was from Christmas. 2 days later, you're still putting it back?
Yeah. And then I read the package. It was like,
That is
oh, damn.
sinful.
Hey, but I'm still
That is-
alive.
That is.
And-
That is nasty work.
And it was
sinful.
tasty as shit. Like, oh man,
Mm-mm.
it was heartbreaking to throw it away. I was like, damn it.
No,
It
that's
tasted so good.
actually insane.
Look, if trash tastes that good, sign me up.
That's actually insane. That Christmas, that the shrimp cocktail lasted 2 days post Christmas, and B, that you ate
It wasn't
it
like
2 days
crawling out of the fridge or anything. It tasted good. It smelled good. It was just the part where it said keep frozen. I'm like, all right, I see you. I'll put you in the trash. It's okay.
I bring this all up because I have a similar stance in my life, but it pertains to matzo ball soup. I love matzo ball soup, and on this particular menu that we're talking about, there was matzo ball soup, and so I made the somewhat controversial choice to order the matzo ball soup. But it was like 11 o'clock or something, and I felt comfortable with it. It's on my mind because I come to find out at the pre-show lunch, which I did partake in last week, not so much this week because I'm trying to lock in.
Can't be bothered, yeah.
I find out that matzo ball soup was made at home and brought to the crew and not to me. Noted matzo ball soup lover, and so it's just kind of been stewing.
Not to the crew, just to me.
Oh, just to you. All right. Well,
I'm hoping
If we're
he'll
breaking
defend
the whole-
himself in a topic bar, but in his defense, this was demanded by Frank. This was not like a. This was not like a
bringing it in.
No. But this was not like a here's for the group situation. As Frank has outlined, it was only for him. That is because Frank said he was aware of on-air. We should mention his on-air Jordan. On-air Jordan, great chef, makes incredible things. Made some matzo ball soup. Frank was made aware of this and said, "You make me this." It was a demand to Jordan, and so Jordan, being a very nice
it was followed
person,
up with a text at dinner time with a bunch of soup emojis just to make sure.
Wow.
You make matzo ball soup for me.
you make it for me. And
Wow.
then Jordan
Jordan's
was like, okay,
all right, I
relax.
guess. He's just like,
How
no,
was
no,
it,
no,
Frank?
you make it for me.
Oh,
How was it?
so good.
Was it
He
good?
brought in fresh dillweed for me to
Wow.
garnish on top.
Wow.
And then,
This is actually a true
then for
fucking
dessert,
story.
for dessert, Jackman gives me this like packaged
Sugar
Belgian
waffle?
Oh my god! And
Wow.
then Ariel Helwani himself brings in a yerba mate, mint infused. Oh, it was such
You're a charity. You had a
Best
charity
lunch
lunch.
I've had.
Everybody donated something to Frank's cause for lunch.
Wow.
so good.
Frank's lunch presented by
Also,
Uncrowned.
if we're going to bring up the yerba mate, we might as well bring up the Venmo situation. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Frankie,
I learned today
Two-
that's rude.
$2.99 sends one off to Helwani for the Venmo. I've bought the guy. I mean, how many yerba mates at this point? I've
I didn't know
lost
you were
count.
keeping track.
15 of them. No, I'm not bothered, but I mean, I buy 15, not even a thank you. Helwani buys one,
Hey,
and I mean,
hey.
the Venmo, it had already left the account by the time he put
Thank
the can on the table.
Okay, I need to add
say.
one on top of this. I went and got Frank one, and I was like, anytime you want to Venmo me, don't worry about it. He's like, how much? I joke and I say $15. I'm not actually going to charge him. He sends me the 15.
Mixed signals from all these fuckers.
Of course, I don't redeem it because I'm not going to make him pay $15 for. And then I'm like, haha, I never redeem it. I asked him today. He said he pulled it back. He didn't even.
Wow.
He pulled back the money.
Okay. Breaking news.
Oh.
Don Davis tweeting 3 minutes ago, we are releasing Patricio Pitbull.
Oh, shit.
PFL is all about opportunity. I founded this company to create new great opportunities for top fighters. PFL has and will continue to do that for all top fighters who want to be here. Now the question is, and by the way, I was gonna go off air at 3:26, and I know we have to get off air soon to get ready for the next program. But I do want to ask: are there strings attached? Like, could he sign with the UFC today? Because we know that's where he wants to go.
I mean, Patricio Pitbull tweeted, he said 4 hours ago, look at the @UFC, @Don Davis PFL. They honor their OGs. Wow. So he actually talked us about Holly Holm. She asked for a release and they gave it to her, made no fuss about it. They are honorable. That's how big organizations do things when a fighter doesn't want to continue with them. You should learn from it. And then 4 hours later, he's been released from PFL. So if there's no strings attached, Patricio Pitbull to the UFC?
Certainly you have to feel like that's the destination. Here's my issue with the entire situation. The damage is done. The damage is done in terms of the reputation of PFL and what has happened over the last couple months with Patricio, with Patchy Mix, with Corey Anderson, and others who have said, hey, where's my fights? Like, it is great that PFL is kind of looking at this and rectifying the issues and saying, okay, we're starting anew. Everything's PFL now. We'll honor the Bellator legacy, but we are PFL. I like these moves. These are the moves I've been calling for a long time, and I'm not alone. Many others. I'm not trying to pretend that this is my sole endeavor, but many people have said this. But you could have released these fighters months ago. You could have avoided this negative PR campaign. You could have talked to them and had a legitimate conversation about whether there was going to be a future for them with the organization, how that was going to come to pass, what the future planning was going to be, and you wouldn't have had months of Patricio Pitbull and Patchy Mix and Corey Anderson and others saying, what the hell is going on with my career, only to then release Patricio Pitbull. And who knows if Corey Anderson or Patchy Mix or anybody else is next. If they now there's a precedent where they can go, hey, you've released Patricio, release me as well. So
dangerous.
It's a weird situation to have play out now this far after the damage has been done. But I also do respect it. I respect that if that is the decision that PFL is making, that they don't want to be in the business, and Patricio has made his opinion very clear. You asked him when you spoke to him on this show whether the damage is done, if they could give him a fight, if he would take it. He said he wants to go to the UFC, no doubt. So I respect the intent behind it to say, hey, Patricio, okay, we are done, go elsewhere. But it just it comes too late for me. The damage has been done here, and it feels like this could have been handled in a better way.
My read on the situation is this is all very fresh. The stance seems to be, we'll believe it when we see it. I mean, I think he tweeted this out in real time. Like, I don't think there's any sort of release letter yet. And so the devil is in the details. Are there matching rights? Is there an exclusive negotiation period? But they need as many PR wins as possible. To your point, this has not been a PR win. Yeah. And so if you can spin this as, hey, we want people here who want to be here. If you don't want to be here, you can go. Then you can try to fix this.
Totally agree. But are you opening the door for people that you actually want on the roster to then say, I want to go too?
But I mean, you could say the same thing about Holly Holm asking for a release. Now, of course, that's the big leagues, right?
Yeah. And also, it's different. The UFC may no longer find Holly as useful as the PFL could potentially find. If let's put actual names to it. If I'm Patchy Mix and I no longer want to compete for PFL and I want to go to the UFC and I ask for my release, are you granting it if you're PFL? My answer as a businessman would be no, but are you eliminating the goodwill with this Patricio thing? There's no clean way that this gets done because of what has happened over the last couple of months.
I don't think everyone will be in this position. Like, I don't think Corey Anderson can go to the PFL brass and say,
maybe not.
Maybe because, to be honest, he isn't getting what he is getting from PFL from UFC. Do you know what I mean?
But could Patchy Mix?
Yes.
That's the thing.
The UFC was interested in doing a deal for Apache Mix.
Could Cedric Doumbé? Could Dakota Jacheva?
Well, don't forget, Cedric Doumbé was in the UFC. They're the ones who let him walk.
Well, now he's a significantly bigger star, but point taken. Yeah, who knows? I wouldn't be so keen to let everybody walk out the door if I was PFL, but it does feel like Patricio's in a different point in his career as well.
A lot of this is happening in real time. I'm writing to a lot of people in real time.
Yes. And
it's also interesting. Patricio has put out there that he wants to be with the UFC from a negotiation standpoint. Now the UFC knows that you want to be here.
It's a good point.
So I understand that he was frustrated, but the UFC isn't going to break the bank because they're going to say, A, you've already told us you want to be here, and B, where else are you going to go?
I was going to say, where else do you go from here?
Is the only other option.
One is not signing MMA guys anymore.
No, nor is that what Patricio's after at this point, right? Like, if he wanted the potential paycheck, like, he could stay with PFL. What he wants is UFC championship. What he wants is legacy. What he wants is glory. And so there is only one place to get it. And to your point, now he has limited his negotiating power. But I have to imagine the UFC wants him as well. He would be a great addition to that division, which already is absolutely loaded. So
I just texted a very high-ranking person at the PFL, can Patricio sign with anyone right now? And they wrote back yes.
Oh.
Patricio's team is saying we'll believe it when we see it.
Yeah.
We don't have any of this in writing. So let's see. But this is...
you tell me how you feel about this. I have to imagine if they are going to publicly say they're releasing him, I have to imagine that their best course of action for the positive PR, for this to not blow back, would be to do it no strings attached.
Multiple people are telling me he can sign with anyone. They're just saying, which is the right stance, we'll believe it when we see it.
Yeah, totally. Because this has been an ongoing saga, and they should want to know, like, definitively. But I would imagine that this is no strings attached. But again, believe it when we see it.
Yeah, and it does bring up a good point. Like, you don't want to set a precedent that if you become so disappointed or so disgruntled, I should say, and such a, and I don't say this like to knock him. He was just upset, like such a malcontent, if you will, that you'll let everyone go who is upset or who openly criticizes. So there's a tricky balance here. But I would say, honestly, Patricio has kind of done it all within the Bellator world. There wasn't much else out there that was of great interest. There's only so many years that he has left on, his career lifespan. Like, he's in his late 30s at this point.
Yeah, you're correct. Like, there is a different point in his career that he is to the others that we're kind of talking about. Maybe Corey Anderson's the closest in relation in terms of the big names, but a Dakota, Apache, they're still young in their careers and have a lot of value to PFL. I don't imagine it would be as easy a conversation. Whereas for Patricio, hey, you want to take a step toward legacy as opposed to the contract, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, sorry, I don't mean to be doing this while the show's going on, but I'm trying to.
This is the biz.
I'm trying to gain some clarity. I'm not trying to put a little Schefter here on all of you. I feel like they kind of play that up when he's like with two phones.
Listen,
I'm just getting an update from the scene. Just hold on, just 1 second.
No one likes that.
I thought you were referring to the one time he said his.
We're doing it right now, Adam.
Famous or most important, like the what was his favorite one? There was one that he did.
Shefty?
Yeah, it's all right.
Don't
worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Shut up.
But yeah, big news. I mean, like it or not, Don Davis is putting everything out on Front Street these days. He's out here on these Twitter streets just throwing everything. Just hey, changes.
He's become a lot more active, and by design or not, he has become the face of the organization as far as like. No one talks about Ray Sefo. Peter Murray doesn't get talked about. He's more of an executive type.
It's Don Davis.
It's Don Davis, and that's the way it should be. The decision maker has to be the guy who's out in front. It has to be that way. For the longest time, he wasn't out and in front of the public. I asked him straight up, can Patricio signed today. He said, yes, he could sign today, subject to MMA customary matching rights in all contracts.
This is from Don.
Yeah. I just asked him that. So wait, it wasn't, what is subject to MMA customary matching rights in all contracts?
Yeah, that exclusive matching period. Let's see.
I asked if there was a matching period. The response was, we do, of course, have match. Our window was 6 months. We waived that.
Oh.
He owed us one more fight. We also waived that.
Oh.
Thus, he was effectively under contract to PFL until late 2025 if we enforced full contract rights. Now he is free. We did that for him, so he gains a full year. But then what does of course, we have matching.
They're like standardly they have that, but they waived it?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's saying that and then immediately saying that they waived it. So it's an odd. I get what Ariel is confused about.
In any event, let's see. I would say this is a positive development, matching or not. I would say that this is a positive development, and let's see where it goes from here.
Both parties need to move on. That's it.
I think just if you're going to go the step of waiving all of this stuff but keep matching, it's not as effective as you think it is. Just let it all go.
Let it all
go. What do you want him there for? There's nothing to be gained from him being there anymore.
That's it. It becomes a game at that point, because if he is ultimately going to leave, right? No matter what happens. And so if you're saying, hey, we're going to release him, then just release him. Don't play the game. There's ultimately nothing to be gained by that.
Yeah. Fascinating times in the world of MMA. 1 second, one last thing. It's been a great day. Tomorrow, Action Bronson in studio. Carol Barbosa. I'm forgetting one. Holly Holm. And Chuck Mindenhall joining us to talk about some amazing stories that he has coming up regarding UFC 311. A great feature on Peyton Talbot. A great feature on Merab Dvalishvili. A great Forrest side about to go into the half. These next 45 minutes are going to be freaking squeaky bum time. And of course, we shall be talking about all the drama. I was talking about the drama in the world of boxing. Well, we're starting to get a little bit of that drama here in the world of MMA. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff to wrap your head around. I love this stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. We need a little bit of the spiciness. And you don't get as much of it in the world of MMA these days because there are less players, right? There's not the multiple promoters and all this stuff that you're seeing in boxing or pro wrestling. We need more of that. I want more of that. It's all very fun. It's not about like a thirst for drama per se. It's a thirst for fun things to talk about. The business side of the game, the promotion side of the game is very, very fun. Fun day was had today on the program. Thank you very much to David Morrell and David Benavidez. Catch them on the 1st of February on PBC, pay-per-view, Amazon Prime. Thank you very much to John Wood. Good luck to him and the squad on Saturday at UFC 311. Thank you very much to O'Shea Jackson Jr. Go check out Den of Thieves 2. And thank you very much to Mackenzie Dern as well. We're back at 5 p.m. on DAZN Boxing. Go check it out on their YouTube channel. And then back on Wednesday, same time, Mississippi. Somebody.